Welcome back. This is a different type of video to normal. As you might be able to tell, I have all my CDs in front of me right now. I had to go get like a bunch from the car and all that sort of shit. I want to sort through them just for organization, and I thought I might make an extra video just going through some stuff, talking about the CDs, talking about the channel maybe, and just, yeah, a bit of a slower paced, unscripted, less edited video to maybe build a bit of my personality and character on video, and also just showcase some of my physical collection. So yeah, the regular video is still coming out. It might be out before or after this. This is an extra bonus video sort of thing. But yeah, we're going to go through these pile by pile. I want to clear a lot of them off of the desk so that I have more space to talk and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, we'll go through them. I'm going to sort them alphabetically off camera. But as I'm sorting them, I'm going to talk about things I want to talk about. And yeah, it might be a longer, maybe shorter, I don't know. Just almost like a podcast sort of setting where I'm just yammering away at the camera while I'm doing something. I thought it's fun. I thought it's music related. Might interest you what I'm interested in specifically, rather than just talking about general topics and using artist examples about artists that I'm not necessarily even that into all the time. So yeah, I showed some of my Kanye CDs in the last video, and I thought this would be a good video to follow up with. Cool. I'm gonna clear a bunch of these things off and go with this first pile, sort through what I'm talking about. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so I got my first pile here, and we're gonna go through CDs. We're gonna sort them alphabetically by the artist name, not the album, not anything else, just the artist, because yeah, I had sorted them recently. Basically, while I talk, I'll go through some things, but I had sorted them a few months ago into decades, but not really into years, so it wasn't even really a proper sorting thing. It was kind of just seeing how many albums of which eras I have, which was, I guess, pointless because I muddled them up really quickly. And the reason I want to do this is because every time I go to get a CD, I muddle all these CDs up and I don't have them in a certain order, and they're very disorganized. So as I organize these, I might talk about what I've got, and if there's an interesting story about why I got this album, how I got this album, or you know, anything like that, I'll just chat away, right? Yeah, so first one we have here is Starboy by The Weeknd. W is going to be a very late number. I don't even remember buying some of these albums. I started buying CDs a long time ago, I would say, when I started driving, because my old car didn't have Bluetooth, and CD quality sounded so much better than the shitty aux cord that I got for a couple bucks. So I sort of started buying CDs because I thought it was interesting, I think, to just own copies of my music. And then as I've gotten further into music, my want for physical media is more important, and my understanding of why physical media is important is obviously grown with my knowledge of music and knowledge of the industry. So I got more and more and more CDs, to the point where it's just a lot. As you saw at the start of the video, it's a lot for a kid who's only been collecting actively for 4 years, maybe 4 years, by 4 or 5 years maybe. Yeah, so I don't know how much I'm going to edit this video, so I'm just going to chat, and hopefully it doesn't go on for too long where it's impossible to edit, but should be fine. Anyway, so I put down Starboy by The Weeknd. W is a very late letter, but I got NWA Greatest Hits. This was a gift. You'll notice I have most of the gift CDs that I got were early into my collecting, and then as I've gotten more and more and more, it's harder for people to give me stuff that I don't already have. So there is a couple double ups, maybe one or two, but most of the time I don't really have doubles of albums. I don't see a point. Yeah, we've got Gorillaz here. I don't even know if I've listened to this since I bought it on CD, or did I buy this one? No, I inherited this. So there's a few collections that I got from family members, older family members that had CD collections that don't really listen to them. They were getting rid of some stuff, and I went, oh, I'll have that. I like that artist, right? So I got Gorillaz, NWA, Weekend. We have Eminem. This is actually my mum's CD, but it's stayed in my collection for the better part of like 4 years. Eminem Show is one of my favorite Eminem albums, if not my favorite Eminem album. So I had to just listen to it. I actually remember my car losing part of its engine while I was listening to one of the songs off this album with the CD in my car. We have Drake, Scorpion. I have a lot of Drake albums. Went and saw him live a couple years ago. No, last year, almost 2 years ago. This is Thundercat. So I reckon I've only listened to this album once. It's called Apocalypse. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of these. The cardboard covers that are like just paper thin things, and this is one of the better ones where it's got a plastic case of the CD in it. But yeah, I'm just, even the better ones I'm not a huge fan of. I understand it's better for the environment, but I'm not getting rid of these. I'm not binning them. They're not going to landfill for at least my entire life. The foreseeable future. This plastic that's in these cases isn't going to landfill. A lot of these are secondhand as well, so it's almost like I'm recycling. People have, gotten rid of their albums and CD collections, and I've gone, oh, I'll have that. I've got to keep track of the alphabet. This Educational Lauryn Hill, classic album, one of the best. I actually listened to this not long ago. One of the other things I really like as well, as I might go through if I notice any, is the art inside albums that you don't see on Spotify or Apple Music or anything, that you get extra photography that was taken for the album that is really, really cool, that you don't really have in the streaming era. You don't have that same sort of thing. Brat, classic. I know it's probably too soon to call it a classic. Oh, this CD's fallen out. Yeah, cool, very cool album. It's a bit dirty, the case, but I think another thing with cases being dirty, that's okay, because it's pretty easy to get a new case and just put all of the paper into a new case. There might be some empty cases as well in this collection. Charlie is an early one, ABCD, earlier than Drake. Have a Nice Life by Death Consciousness. Yeah, one of the best albums I've ever heard. As far as non-hip hop goes as well, like, this album art is so cool. The layout, I know this is a cardboard and I did just shit on them, but being a double disc, I think it makes sense. They're easier to work with. And the double disc plastic cases are really annoying because I tend to break them. But that's a good one, Death Consciousness. Oh, yeah, some of these newer disc covers though, they're not really very good. Some Sexy Songs for You, the Drake and Party Next Door album. Not a huge fan of Party Next Door, but my girlfriend loves them. So this one's still in plastic. Little Sims Lotus. This is her album from last year I think, 2025. Still got hype sticker on it, which is cool, but also like they don't put hype stickers on the plastic as much anymore. Like this explicit one isn't a hype sticker, but they have to stick it onto the album because of laws and stuff. But yeah, hype sticker that just says Lil Sims up here. you don't really get that as much on the actual cases. So as soon as I take the plastic off this, that Hive sticker's gone. And I know there's people who preserve it and stuff, but I'm not doing all that. Lil Sims goes over there. One of my favourite rock albums ever, if not my favourite rock album ever. Nirvana, Nevermind. Iconic album cover, awesome, awesome, awesome. Red Star Woo and the Worldwide Scourge. This was a gift because I was yammering on about how I wanted this CD and I didn't have it yet, and my sister bought it for me. Awesome, awesome, awesome record. Probably one of my favourites of the year. I will probably do a video at the end of the year talking about my favourite albums of 2026. This is Genesis Owusu. And obviously I was listening to him because I put them together. This is his first album, Smiling with No Teeth. I've seen Genesis Owusu like 2 or 3 times or something now. He's an awesome Australian artist. If you don't listen to him, you're doing something wrong with your life. This technically isn't mine as well, kind of like Eminem. This is my grandfather's. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. I mean, it's Pink Floyd. Everybody loves Pink Floyd. I still do think that this is a bit overrated, sorry. I don't think when people say it's the best album of all time, I don't think that they've listened to some albums that I would classify the best of all time, but also music's subjective, so I just don't love Pink Floyd or this album specifically as much as other people I know do. Yeah, Pink. LMNOP. Oh, I mean, I got this as a, what was it, like a 30-year anniversary or something? They re-released it for 25 years or 30 years or something, Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style, his debut record with Dr. Dre production. The art in this is so cool. I don't know who the artist is. It's probably in here somewhere. The artist, all the artwork on this original Snoop Dogg album is so cool. All of these little pictures, and there's like a whole, almost like a mini comic book or something in here, full of just full of cool cartoons and comics and stuff. I think it's so cool. And then it's got like a big picture of Snoop Dogg in there as well. Day in the Life of Snoop Doggy Dogg, featuring Rat-a-tat-tat. You probably won't be able to see all this stuff that I pull out, but so cool. So cool. I like Snoop Dogg, I mean, he's a legend. And like, yeah, owning this album was really cool to me. I remember buying it in Sydney or something I think I was in. Yeah, awesome. Snoop Dogg goes with there, I believe. Sorry. My organisation, this is maybe not going to be a very good system for a bit the longer this goes on, so we'll figure it out in between piles that I do. This is Key Glock. I don't think Key Glock is like, one of the best of all time or anything. I don't think he's, goated, but I do like Key Glock. I like this album. I like a lot of the songs, especially the intro Dirt or song 3, Randy Orton. Really cool songs on this album. Just fun. This is an album I put on when I want like just energy. I want energy and nothing but energy. Again, one of those shitty little cardboard. There's a name for them, I know, but I just don't like them. They don't fit in the collections either. Like if you only own the cardboard ones, it's fine. But if you're stacking them like I have them stacked, it just gets annoying sometimes when they're thinner or they're not even or anything like that. It's just a pain in the ass. But yeah, I do like Key Glock. Okay. We've got Jay-Z, The Blueprint. This is one of my favourite albums. Another one. I mean, most of these albums are my favourite albums, so it's a bit of a hard thing to like say. This album art is just, the disc art is so cool to me. The cover is great. Kanye production on this album is awesome. Jay-Z. This was released on 9/11/2001, like the 9/11. I think that's just one of the funniest hip-hop facts that exists. And I wasn't around, but I imagine that was probably quite a weird time to be in New York listening to the King of New York when New York blows up. It's just, that is just a dichotomy of existence that I wish I could have lived. Yeah, Blueprint, I have this, you can transfer albums onto the original Xbox. And I have an original Xbox that the Blueprint is the only album that I transferred all the files, like I copied the album essentially off of my CD onto the Xbox. It was just a test, and now I can just put in the Xbox and it's almost like it just has the Blueprint on it, and that's awesome. This is Dave's new album. I think it's last year as well, 2025, The Boy Who Played the Harp. This is still sealed. I don't really know why, I just never got around to actually listening to it. But this is Dave, The Boy Who Played the Harp. I did like that one, but I don't think I liked it as much as like some of the other ones that I enjoy. This, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do with this. Like, I can put it in the pile. I've never listened to this. This is like, I don't know how to explain it. I ordered a CD, I do not remember what it was. I ordered one on eBay one time from this worldwide seller or something. It was from the UK, came from like England. And they put the wrong one in the package. And I remember waiting ages for it because it came from so far away. And I had to wait so long just to get this in the mail. And I don't know what this is. It's in another language. It's Choir of King's College, but I think it's like Danish, maybe? Where is it? It doesn't say. It's from like a random Northern European country, like Sweden or Norway or something like that. And it's like this boys' choir. And it's just like so weird that I have a copy of this album. I don't even know what it is or anything about it. If you want it, you can have it. I think I spent X amount of money. I don't even think I got a refund for it. It was stupid. I wanted something else. I had ordered something else and I never got it back. But yeah, I have a random European choir on CD now, and I've never listened to it. And I sometimes I put it in my car going, yeah, when I get through the rest of my albums that I'm listening to, I'll put that one on. And I never do, because it doesn't entice me. I don't even know what the fuck it is. And it feels kind of pointless to listen to. So that's the first pile done. I'm going to sort them out over there and just put them away properly, and then we'll get the next pile up and I'll come back. Cool. All right, so I sorted out down there. I'll show that layout later of my alphabet. So it should work out okay. I'm just sorting them in alphabetical order. Back into pile 2. This is one of the newest additions to my collection, the Ghetto Boys, We Can't Be Stopped. This is a really old record, I think 1989 maybe, or 91 or something like that. Genuine classic album, just, yeah, one of the best OG rap groups to exist. You'll know at least 2 of the beats almost because they were sampled in Kodak Black songs. If you know Kodak Black and you don't know Ghetto Boys, you probably know Ghetto Boys. Yeah, just an awesome record. This is a single. I don't have a lot of singles. I got a lot of these for $1 at Cash Converters, Cashies. So I got this for $1, I think. And it's Eminem, Lose Yourself. Bit of a really weird one to just have. But I don't even think I've ever listened to it. It has Lose Yourself, the Lose Yourself instrumental, Renegade with Jay-Z, Lose Yourself, the video, and the 8 Mile movie trailer. So I guess if you put it into your DVD player, you can watch the videos on the 8 Mile movie trailer. It says taken from the 8 Mile soundtrack. I've never seen an 8 Mile soundtrack CD. I would love the 8 Mile soundtrack on CD. That's one that I really want, but I don't have. Because I just think there's so many other artists on that soundtrack that you don't really realize were on the soundtrack. Like there's Nas songs and stuff like that, and there's 50 Cent songs, and it's quite good. The Gummy Bear song, I think I bought this because it was funny and it was $1, and I was just like, this is so good. It's got I'm Your Funny Bear, World Radio Edit, Gelatin Club Mix, Marshmallow Mix, Hungarian Mix, and Gummy from Bomb Bomb Bay. And then it says, get your official Gummy Bear ringtone for your mobile. Like, it's just such a sign of the times. I think it's so funny that it exists, And now that I have it, it's just like, what the fuck? But yes, that's another one that's, I guess the artist is Gummy Bear, so I'm going to put it in that pile. Yeah, if I have your favorite album, as we go through these, comment below, say, oh my god, this is my favorite album, can't believe you have this, like, you know, so cool. If I don't, let me know down where, right there. Just type a comment, say, hey, you really need this album, you're missing out. And if I know it and I don't have it, I'll be like, oh my god, damn, like, how do I not have that? If I don't know it, then maybe I'll listen to it and I'll go, okay, this is pretty good. If I like it, if I don't like it, you know, I might try and reply to some comments for once instead of just liking them. But anyway, we've got the Black Eyed Peas, The End. This is from like 2008 or something like that. Yeah, 2009. This is a cool record. I got this for $1 as well from Cashies. This is another $1 one. I got a lot of these for $1. I also got a pile of 9 CDs for $9, so there was some random albums in there. But I only bought it because Get Rich or Die Trying was in it by 50 Cent. So there's also some of them in here, scattered around wherever. Yeah, Black Eyed Peas, The End. Cool album. I probably only got it because it was $1 and I don't really care about Black Eyed Peas that much, but like, it's $1, so like, I'll take it. Cool album that I know some songs off of for $1. Like, I'm not gonna say no. Next we have Ice Cube, Lethal Injection. This is cool. This is a really cool album. Yeah. I mean, it's Ice Cube. It's OG Ice Cube too, so it's like, without NWA. Pretty cool. I don't even know if I've listened to this on CD. Maybe on Spotify, but yeah. That's another good one. Ice Cube, I'm going to put. Next, we've got AC/DC, Rock or Bust. This has like a, I don't know what they call it, like a lenticular sort of thing. I don't know what you call it. It's got like a moving picture on it. You look at it one way and it's just the logo, and then the next way you look at it, it's like the logo's blown up. It's pretty cool. It's a terrible album, to be honest, as far as AC/DC albums go. Rock or Bust came out in like 2015, but it was one of the first, 2014, but it was one of the first albums by AC/DC that came out while I was alive and that I remembered. And so like, I was a big AC/DC fan when I was really little, and then an album came out. I was like, I need it. I was like probably, 9 when this album came out, but I wanted it, so I got it. Probably as a gift for Christmas or something. And I remember, I know most of these tracks, and they're not very good now that I look back on it, compared to actual, you know, original AC/DC, but like, the fact that it's an AC/DC album that came out while I was a big fan of AC/DC is really cool to me. I think that's awesome. You know, I'm sure there's other random things that I was really huge on when I was a kid that I never really got until later, if I did. This is Marshall Mathers LP 2 by Eminem, the 10th anniversary edition, so it's got 11 bonus tracks on it. I didn't realize it has 11 bonus tracks. It's got 2 CDs on it. See, these ones, this isn't too bad. Some of them are really annoying. This one, because it has the swivel in the middle, I don't know if you can see that, because it has a swivel in the middle, you don't break it very often. But there's some where you've got to pull it apart from here and pull it out this way in the plastic cases with double CDs, and they're really annoying, and I break them all the time. I think we'll probably find one, I hope. Yeah. It's a cool, I like the blue tint on it for the 10th anniversary edition. I don't really know what the bonus tracks are. There's obviously some from the deluxe, like Groundhog Day and whatever. There's some instrumentals by the looks of it, and that's about it. Rap God instrumental. I mean, like, it's not one of his best albums, but it's cool. It's nice that it exists, you know. I think that it's like, it's Eminem, it's nice it exists. It's not really much more than that. Then we've got Mac Miller, my favorite Mac Miller album, Good AM. This is a really cool one artistically. There's all these like black and white photos and like ripped out things and stuff, and the paper isn't slotted in the front here. It comes out like that, so you can just slot it in this little pouch that it's got, which is cool. And it's a cardboard case, which does annoy me, and I'm pretty sure it's one of those ones that's not even, so in my piles it kind of messes things up, but it's good for the environment. It's my favorite Mac Miller album. I'm pretty sure all of Mac Miller's albums are paper cases, so there's nothing I can do about it. I love Mac Miller. I'm not gonna not buy his albums because they're not in plastic cases. Technically, I could put it in a plastic case, but then you miss out on all the art that's printed on the cardboard case. So, because that's like a bed, it's like a mattress, and then underneath the mattress you've got the under the bed sort of look. I don't really know how to explain it. It's pretty cool. Cool album. Mac Miller, it's my favourite. Just making sure I got my alphabet right. And we've got Sade. This is Diamond Life. I think this is her first album, 1984. There might be one earlier than this. But Sade is like my favourite artist ever. I live for Sade. Sade can make me feel so calm in the most stressful situations. And she's also a really good songwriter, I think. Obviously, people always talk about the sound of Sade and like that jazz, soul, R&B-ish sound that she has and a beautiful voice. But it's actually like her songwriting, I think, that gets me across the line. Stuff like even on this album, obviously Smooth Operator's the intro, but Frankie's First Affair, When Am I Gonna Make a Living, I Will Be Your Friend, Sally, like there's some really good, well-written tracks on this album. I think Sade is obviously renowned as the really lovely, beautiful sounding singer with just a really cool, funky band, but also you got to talk about the songwriting. I've got lots of Sade in here. I think I've got 3 albums at least, so Sade's my favourite. I'm still looking for a couple Sades, but yeah, that's a good one. We got Gang Starr, Moment of Truth. This is another OG rap duo. DJ Premier produced it. It's quite cool. Looks like a record on the disc. That's another cool one. Gang Starr. I can't remember who it is, to be honest, which is really bad by me. It's like Scarface and... No, Scarface is a feature here. I really should know who it is. It's quite bad from me. Guru and someone else. That's really bad. It says C. Martin and K. Ilham. Oh my god, this is really embarrassing. I hope that if I do edit this, that I will throw up who Gang Starr is, because like I know it's in there somewhere, but I just can't remember it right now. The photo was them talking to a judge in court as the album cover. I think that's sick. I think that's a really cool album cover. We've got Erykah Badu, Mama's Gun, another beautiful singer and lovely songwriter. Really cool record. Just real chill, laid back, awesome, just to throw on any time. You can throw on Mama's Gun at any point in any day, anywhere. It doesn't matter. Mama's Gun, Erykah Badu. Erykah Badu is like a legend. She's a go. It's just, that's undeniable, right? She also had a child with Andre 3000 from Outkast, which is cool. Next we have J. Cole. So obviously, if you're into the newer rap, as I imagine a lot of my watchers are, my regular audience is, off-season J. Cole. I remember when this came out, I didn't even really like listen to any J. Cole, and I remember making jokes saying like, who the fuck is J. Cole? Like, who's J. Cole? Why is everybody talking about this off-season album? But like, I knew who he was, but I didn't really listen to him, and that shows how young I am. But like, yeah, this album, 12 tracks, nuts. Really good record. I remember when I started listening to this like a lot, I went back to it a few years ago and I was like, oh my god, like I actually do really like J. Cole in this album. I don't love everything he's ever done, but this is one that stands out to me as a listener. Yeah, that's cool. Billie Eilish, Happier Than Ever. This is another one of my favourite artists, like Mac Miller, who puts all of their fucking albums in these cardboard ones. It's a shame about this one, Happier Than Ever, because there's literally only, I think it's the lyrics of the songs on the inside. It's just text. It's just random shitty pictures and just writing in the smallest font you could ever even imagine reading. Some people hate what I wear, some people praise it. Like, there's some cool lyrics in here, I guess, but I can Google lyrics. This came out not that long ago. We don't need to be writing the lyrics down. Like, I don't know. I don't like that. As far as art goes, this shouldn't be in cardboard. I don't like the fact that this is a cardboard album, but it is a beautiful album. It's a nice album cover, and it's got a good track list. So, you know, I'm going to buy it because I like Billie Eilish. Next, we have a bit of a rogue one. Freddie Gibbs and Madlib, Bandana. If you don't know, then you don't know. But if you do know, Palmolive featuring Pusha T and Killer Mike is like one of the greatest songs of maybe ever. I love that song, as well as like probably half this album. But yeah, that one specifically is like obviously a classic because I love Killer Mike, I love Pusha T, and then it's Freddie Gibbs on a Madlib beat as well, which is just good in itself. I love this album cover with Hollywood burning, and I love Quasimodo on the giraffe here, the zebra, sorry. That's really cool. I think it's a bit ironic because Madlib did have his house burnt down in LA during the LA fires, which was after this album came out. And it's got Quasimodo, who is Madlib's like rap alter ego, looking over Hollywood burning and like houses on fire. And I think this is a bit like, oh, this is almost like, it's almost like he praised it into existence, which is a bit weird. So, you know, it happens though. Oh, beautiful album. 9 tracks. Nice, short, sweet. Stevie Wonder. Inner Visions. Awesome record. I think I got this in Melbourne early this year, maybe Brisbane. That's a really good one. I love Stevie Wonder. This is one of the ones, yeah. See, it was $9, but at $9 you got 9 CDs and you had to buy all 9. It wasn't like, you know, can I just get this for $1? No, you had to get a stack of 9 because they were obviously just trying to get rid of shit at cash converters. This does have a hype sticker on it that says "In the Club" plus 3 bonus cuts, including Wankster. Executive producers Dr. Dre and Eminem, and that's awesome. I love that. And it's obviously got an old price sticker, the new price sticker from Cashies, and it's the case is scratched to oblivion. Get Rich or Die Trying. Oh, disc is loose. That's awesome. I love this disc cover. The bullet holes in there. Awesome, just awesome. There's more than 9 bullet holes, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's a really cool record. There's actually text here that's like really hard to read. I don't know why. It's like almost engraved in the top that says "Get Rich or Die Trying," but it's like, I don't know, you can only see it from certain angles. It's got a cool picture of 50 here with his chain on. I don't know why this is so loose. It's obviously been battered. But in surprising turn of events, the disc isn't very scratched at all. I think it's actually quite good quality disc for... Do I put 50 Cent in 5 as in a numbers category? There aren't many number artists, are there? Or do I put him in F? I might put him in F. 50 Cent. That's an F, right? I know it doesn't start with a number, but I'm not going to put him in a different category for the alphabet. Cool one here. Earl Sweatshirt, Some Rap Songs. This is a good one. I remember one of the kids I went to school with had this album cover as like one of his backgrounds on his phone, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And I don't really understand it yet, and then I got into it, and I was like, wow, Earl is really, really, really smart, real talented artist, and I hope he never dies, because like, yeah, this shit is good. I don't even remember where I got this. I only got this recently-ish, like within the last year or so, I think. But that's a really good one, I think. That goes in the E's. Another good one from Eminem, Relapse. I think this is one of his underrated albums. I think, you know, it's got Dr. Dre production still on it. A lot of talk about his drugs and stuff. I think a lot of it is a bit like crazy kooky, but I think that's kind of part of the theme, and the idea of this album is very like grim and dark, and that's kind of the point, and it's actually executed a lot better than anything after this. So yeah, Relapse. I got this for my birthday present because I mentioned it once and my mum heard it and she was like, I heard him say that he wants this on CD, so I'm going to buy it for him. This label here is like a pill label, like a prescription label. This isn't a sticker, it's on the album cover, and then this is a picture of Eminem made up by like medicine pills, which is quite cool because it's talking a lot about his drug addictions. I think that's really fun. Eminem again, I mean, one of the greatest, literally probably the best album ever. And this is a 2-disc one that I think, yes, so this is what I was talking about when I'm talking about double CDs. They come out, you gotta pop it here, and it comes out this way. And it's like, what is what is that? And like, it works, but it's not great. It's just, I always crack the cases by doing that and like break the hinges by pulling them out. But yes, Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder. I mean, if you don't know, you're actually just not even into music, to be honest. So you're not my target audience, and I don't care. But if you don't know, go listen to Songs of the Key of Life. It's just, yeah, perfect album. Michael Jackson, Bad. I love Michael Jackson, oh my God. Yeah, another good one. I mean, there's not much I can say about Michael Jackson that hasn't been said before. AC/DC, Back in Black. This one actually I did buy new, even though I've got some older records like that are like hand-me-down sort of things, but I did buy Back in Black new because it's like my favourite. This is a hand-me-down one that just technically belongs to my mum, but it's Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses, another good rock, heavy rock album from like the 80s or 90s or whatever. Maybe earlier, probably earlier. I don't know. Anyway. Sorry, I'm already walking away. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to go put these over in the alphabet piles, and then I'm going to get the next pile up, and we're going to go again, all right? We're on to pile 3. We've only got 5 more piles after that, so 6 piles out of 8. I've done 2. This is number 3. I've got 5 more. Cool. You can do the maths. This one I had to get out of my car. There's a Lil Wayne, The Carter 3. The disc is still in the car, so I can't show you the album art here. Not that you can probably see half the shit that I'm showing to you anyway, but that's not the point. The point is I'm just talking, right? Carter 3, classic album. I'm going to put this aside because I have to put it back in my car. Next, we have the 20-year anniversary of Illmatic by Nas. I spoke about Nas the other day in one of my videos. I can't remember. It might have been my most recent video. Yeah, I spoke about Nas in the Kanye video. Yeah, cool album. Don't really care about the remixes that are on the second disc here. This is another good one when it comes to 2 discs though, where the swivel's in the middle. That's really good. We love that. Nas. This is Triple J Hottest 100 Volume 9. I got this as a hand-me-down. I don't really like compilation albums. I never really listened to this. I just thought it was cool to own, and someone was getting rid of it, family member, so I have it, but I will probably never listen to it because I don't like compilation albums. I think they're a bit cringe. Like, if I want to listen to an album, I'll listen to the album. The artwork's cool, I guess. Like, it's fun. Triple J, staple of Australia. We're going on the Ice Cube one, The Essentials. See, this is another compilation album, right? This is just like, you know, one of those ones where it's like, here's all of the best hits of this artist's. This, I think the Ice Cube ones came with 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying, the $9 for 9 CD pack. So I don't really listen to a lot of them. They're okay. I like Ice Cube. I think he's a legend. I think he's really good at what he does. But I think there's a reason why he doesn't make music still, unlike some artists of a similar age. There's no point. He's not worth continuing to make music. He does other shit. He's an actor. He writes scripts for TV shows and stuff like that. He's a producer, whatever else. Yeah, Ice Cube, The Essentials. And then Ice Cube, War and Peace Volume 2, the Peace Disc. This has 18 tracks on it. I've never really even looked at this, to be honest. That's probably pretty bad from me. Is this 2 CDs or is this 1? I guess I can pull this CD out to find out. No, it's not. It's just 1. So why is this a War and Peace Part 2? Is this like a deluxe? Or is this like only Part 2 of the album and I don't have Part 1? I don't really know. Anyway, that's Ice Cube. If you're reading this, it's too late. Technically, it's a mixtape. Drake, what are we talking, 2015? I mean, it's a classic mixtape. It's a really good album. Very minimal artwork and stuff like that in here, but really good mixtape. Really love some of the songs on here, like Company or 6 p.m. in New York, or Madonna's pretty good. Energy's good. You know, Preach is okay. I like the Drake. I'm not a huge fan of Party Next Door, but if you're reading this too late, pretty good album. Drake, we've got there. we have Pink, The Truth About Love. I bought this. No, I didn't. This was a hand-me-down, I think. But, Pink was one of my favourite artists when I was, like, really little. I'm talking like a child. I'm talking, like, learning how to walk. But Pink's playing, mate, I'm running, Pink's really cool. She's fun. I don't think she's, like, one of the best ever or anything like that. But cool artwork, stuff like that. It was a very, like, punk-ish sound, but also it was just pop. It was, like, punky, poppy sort of stuff. Like, I'm a rock star, but you're not, you're a pop star. Like, it's kind of, I don't know, it's up in the air. But it's cool. It's a cool album. It's a cardboard one, which I think is a bit weird considering how old this album might be. 2012. I guess that makes sense that it was cardboard, but, like, probably one of the only cardboard albums that old that I have, because it's not really as common back then as it is now. We're going to find out what P is. I don't know, P... Cool. We have Fontaines DC Romance. I mean, this is so cool. It says Romance, it says Fontaines DC, album cover, the songs. This annoys me when I'm driving and I'm trying to see what the name of this track is that I'm listening to, and all of the song titles are, like, spiraled around in no particular order, and they're kind of all scattered around the place. Really annoys me because I don't know what song I'm listening to half the time. As I listen to it more, I get to know it a bit more. Irish band. This album came out last year, I think, maybe the year before. Really cool. But again, cardboard, and it's like one of those cardboard ones that doesn't sit flat. It bounces up. You might not be able to see that, but it lifts up a little bit, and it's really annoying. However, yeah, the Fontaines DC pretty good, so I'll take it. This is a cool one. This one I got in Brisbane, I think. This is secondhand, but it was in really good quality. And it's DJ Shadow, Introducing. Introducing is an album that's entirely instrumental, kind of think like Donuts by J Dilla, which I do have and I'll get to at some point. Entirely instrumental, hip-hop beats, and it's really, really cool. I love the way that he almost doesn't need rappers rapping to make you feel like this is a full, complete album. Like, this isn't just a beat CD. This is a full album that's made entirely with beats. I think it's really sick. I've only listened to it a couple of times, but every time I listen to it, I'm like, wow, I'm impressed. Like, every time I listen to it, I'm impressed. I'm trying to see what other albums they have, because there's what do you call it? Like a record store in the picture. I'm trying to see if I recognize any of the records, but I don't. At all. I genuinely don't recognize any of these albums, so I don't really know if that's intentional or not. But yeah, Introducing, DJ Shadow. DJ Shadow is sick. That album, if you like production, if you like instrumental anything, if you like beats, listen to Introducing. It's really good. Here we have Marshall Mathers LP1, the original one. This is really good. Probably one of my favorite Eminem albums. I mean, we're talking Stan, we're talking like Real Slim Shady, we're talking The Way I Am, Drug Ballad, Bitch Please 2, Kim, Criminal, Under the Influence. Like, there's some really, really, really good songs on this album. Cool. Very good album cover. Another cool one, I think. Yeah, I don't even remember when I got this. I definitely just found it at the store sometime. Another Billie Eilish one we've got here. Where do we go when we all fall asleep or something? This is the same format. I don't know who's doing this at Billie Eilish headquarters. Whoever is in charge of the disc stuff. Is there even a CD in here? I don't think there's a CD in here. There doesn't seem to be a CD in here. I don't know why. That is a question that I need to find the answer to. I'm not sure. But yes, it's okay. It's a good album, but like, it's just this shit that they're doing with the lyrics, putting all the lyrics in, and I'm sure she's not the only artist that's ever done it, but this is just tacky. It's, oh, somebody will still buy CDs. Let's just throw something together. We don't need all these photos and stuff. Like, there's no extra art. There's no extra anything. There's no paper to go with it, to read a little booklet or anything. It is genuinely just the track list, the album cover, and just lyrics to every song. I'm like, that's fine, but is it even, like, I don't know. I think that's so shit. Because the other Billie Eilish album, I thought it might have just been that one, but apparently not. That's really embarrassing, to be honest. For an artist of Billie's caliber, to just have the lyrics posted up there is just really tacky. This is a really cool one. Michael Jackson, 40th anniversary of Thriller. So it comes in this sleeve, which I don't know many albums that do that. And then you just have the Thriller album, but it says the world's biggest selling album of all time. It's got 2 CDs. It's got the first CD, which is just the album. And then the second CD is another one of those middle things I've got to be really careful with so I don't break anything. CD 2 has Starlight, which I believe is the demo for Thriller. And then it's got a bunch of other demos and some other stuff. It's got 10 demos. That's really cool. It's got some really cool stuff in here. The booklet is huge. I don't really want to take it out because I want to keep this album in pretty good condition. Because it's 40th anniversary, I really think that I could probably get a different copy of Thriller maybe to listen to regularly. And if I listen to it, I normally just put the first disc in. I don't really listen to the demo album. But yes, very cool. For 40th anniversary, I got this a few years ago now. Really, really cool. And it comes in that sleeve. The sleeve is a little bit trashed, but I think the sleeve keeps the plastic protected pretty well. And, you know, it's nice that it's got the 40 and the O is Michael. I think that's cool. Here we have Nirvana, Unplugged in New York. I spoke about Unplugged briefly in my posthumous releases video the other week, but I actually spoke about Kurt Cobain himself mostly. But yeah, this is a really good one. Live performance, MTV Unplugged. Love Nirvana. We got another Nirvana record, In Utero. So this is just, I mean, this is probably my, I don't know, I toss up between Nevermind and In Utero all the time about which I prefer out of Nirvana's discography. In Utero, I think, goes a little bit more unnoticed now than Nevermind. Nevermind, because the album cover being so iconic, it's more talked about, but I also think In Utero is probably on par with Nevermind. I don't know if this came from Dad's collection specifically or if it was in Mum's boxes and I just have it, but this is the Adelaide Crows Football Club song single CD. This is cool. It's got the lyrics in there. It's got Adelaide Crows club song. It's got One Day in September and Up There Kazali. If you know AFL football, you know that these songs are all, well, the other 2 songs are classics. The Adelaide Crows song is obviously the Crows song, and it still is. And Dad used to play this in the car on the way to swimming. He'd put this CD in, so he would listen to it. It's really scratched up. I don't think I've listened to it ever, but like not since I've had possession of this, but I think that's really cool that I now do own that because I used to listen to it lots as a kid. We've got Red Hot Chili Peppers here. This is Californication. This was also oh, that is upside down. The back's upside down. Someone needs to fix that. This is a 2 CD album. Cool one, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I've never loved Chili Peppers, but like, I think they're good enough that I can listen to them and feel fine. Australian only exclusive release, 3 extra songs. 2-set CD with a 1 CD price. That's a cool hype sticker. It's got the Chili Peppers logo on it. That's really cool. There, cool. Yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I don't really listen to them, but it's cool. It's cool to have. I think it was a hand-me-down, so I got it from a family member. This is an awesome one. Kings of Mischievous South, Volume 2. This disc is printed as if it's just drawn on with a Sharpie, and I think that's really sick. It fits the album artwork. It's got all the artists on it and stuff. It's a really cool album for Denzel Curry. Sorry if I didn't mention it was Denzel Curry. It was Denzel Curry. It was a really good album. This came out last year, maybe year before. I want to say it was last year. Yeah, 2024. Sorry. Yeah, it's got all. It's hard to read all of the, what do you call it, track songs, but it's got A$AP Ferg on there, and it says like, okay, Kenny Mason, Project Pat, and like, I don't know. There's some cool. It's really well designed album cover and art and stuff like that. And I mean, it's Denzel Curry. I love Denzel Curry. He's a legend. I've got some other Denzel albums that you'll probably see soon. Danny Brown, Quaranta. This one I listened to and I really enjoyed, and I bought it pretty soon after it was released on CD. But I don't really go back to it as much as I probably would like to, because it is just, yeah, I don't know why really. I've been listening to newer stuff, obviously. I've been listening to stuff I haven't heard before, and going back to other Danny Brown albums if I'm going to listen to Danny Brown. But Quaranta is really good. I think is really underrated in Danny Brown's discography. His newer stuff is actually pretty good. This came out, 2024 or something like that. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. This is one of my favorite albums of all time. This is Schoolboy Q, Oxymoron. When I saw Schoolboy Q at the end of last year, so 10 months ago now maybe, I cried. If I do edit this video, I'll throw up a photo, and it'll be me crying in the mosh pit at Schoolboy Q, last year, end of last year, and it was just really, it was just a memorable moment for me. I remember I bought this CD, it's one of the first ones I bought online, and I had waited months for it. I bought it in November, and it didn't come till February the next year, and it was like from the UK, and it was like, and when it came, I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. And I listened to it all the time. It was one of my first CDs that I had bought for myself. Oxymoron is just like such a good album, and like I love Schoolboy Q so much that like I just didn't even care what I had to wait or pay to get this album. I needed it. They don't really sell it in Australia in regular stores anymore unless it's secondhand, so getting this in a new quality from another country is just, it was really cool. The art's awesome. He's got all these different bucket hats behind the disc. I love Oxymoron. I love Schoolboy Q. I still don't have Blue Lips, I don't think, because I don't even think it even got a release. It would have, but I never saw it. So that's when I have to go back and get Blue Lips by Schoolboy Q, because, they didn't do it, really. We've got Doechii. I saw her the same day I saw Schoolboy Q at this festival. I love Doechii. This is her first album, but it's technically a mixtape. It's called Alligator Bites Never Heal. It's got a cool little hype sticker up there. It's got this big alligator picture on the back, and this is just a really cool record. Pretty minimal on the inside. This is upside down, but it's got a nice little alligator. It looks like a bit old school. It's very, she is embracing her Florida roots, and that's really cool to me. I'm hoping that they give some Doechii love in GTA 6 when they do that soundtrack, because she's a Florida resident. She's grown up in Florida, same as Denzel Curry. I think they should do that, as well as like, the XXXTentacions and stuff like that as well. That would be really cool. Next we have What's the Story, Morning Glory by Oasis. I actually listened to this not that long ago. Oasis is just goated. It's funny that they don't name the skit tracks or whatever they are, the interludes, I guess. They're just blank in the track list. It's just like number 11, Nothing, 39 seconds, and then number 12, Champagne Supernova, 7 minutes, 27 seconds, which is really weird. But it's a really cool album. This is probably a really old copy of it as well, 1995, I imagine. It's pretty old. It was an inherited one from another family member. But I do love Oasis, so I can't really fault them there. Now this isn't in its case, but this is Struggler by Genesis Owusu. So I'm not really sure how that's happened. I saw Genesis Owusu the same day I saw Schoolboy Q and Doechii. That was the second time I saw Genesis though. So this is one of the, I have some blank cases. So I've obviously put it in a blank case, but I think it was because it was in a cardboard case, and I didn't want to wreck the cardboard case when I was taking it out somewhere in the car. But Struggler is a really underrated Genesis album. He's got 3 albums, and I think this one is the middle one. It's a little bit less accessible. I think the concept of it all is a really hard to grasp thing, but once you've got it, it's really, really cool. But yeah, I think the other 2 albums, the new Genesis album is really, really popular. The first one is where he grew his name, and this one in the middle is kind of less known outside of like his core audience, I think. So Struggler by Genesis Owusu, I really love this album. This is what actually got me into Genesis before I really became accustomed to the rest of his catalogue. But that is pile 3. I know I'm talking a lot, but I guess that's the point. If you're watching, you're watching. This is supposed to be a bit more of a chill, laid-back video where I'm just yammering away. So I'm going to sort these out over there and grab the next pile, pile 4. All right, we're on pile 4 now of 8. So went and sorted all those out. I've got a lot of D artists. Drake, Doechii, obviously, Death Consciousness. That's by Have a Nice Life. That's in the wrong pile. Anyway, we're going to start off, we're going to sort these out, and then I might take a break because we'll be halfway through, so I might go off and do something and then come back. This is another Billie Eilish one where they've just printed on the lyrics. This is their most recent album. I loved this album. Hit Me Hard and Soft by Billie Eilish. It's only 10 tracks. There doesn't even need to be this many lyrics written down. They've upped the font. The font size is just bigger. It's the same format though. It's really, really, really tacky and I hate it, but it's a good album, so I have to have it. It's Billie Eilish. This is Miles Davis. This is an instrumental trumpet player. It's jazz music. I really am getting more into jazz lately. This was the first jazz instrumental album that I have, and the more I listen to it, the better it gets. It's a short album with only 6 tracks. Each track is like 9 minutes on average. There's one that's 5 minutes, there's one that's 11 minutes, but I guess you could probably average that out to 9. But John Coltrane, awesome. Like there's just, yeah, legendary album. Miles Davis. Let's put that over here at the M. This is one that I think a lot of people will know. Channel Orange. I remember getting this, not being huge into Frank Ocean, like knowing who he was, knowing some of the songs, but not being massive into it. Listened to this album front to back, only for the first time when I bought the CD, and I loved it. I love Channel Orange more than Blonde, and I know that people really don't like that opinion, because I got a lot of friends that love Blonde, but I think Channel Orange is better. I think maybe the more upbeatness of it, maybe. I don't know why specifically, but I enjoy this more than Blonde. Blonde is good. Channel Orange is just better. So that might be a bit of a rough take for people to handle, but Frank Ocean, Blonde, really good album. Denzel Curry, Taboo. This is probably one of his best albums. Yeah, this is awesome. This art is sick. This album cover's sick. The back cover is sick. The track list is awesome. It's 13 songs. This is a really good, cool thing that I own. I love Denzel Curry. I think that's a really good album in his discography. Then we have Beyonce Lemonade, which I didn't realize until I watched a video about something to do with this, that there is a second disc in here. It's not advertised to have a second disc, and when it's one of those middle pulley out ones, you don't really realize it, but apparently on the back it's like a short film or a visual album. You put the disc in a DVD player and you can watch the album almost. I don't really understand it. I've never really done it. Maybe I will do that someday, but yeah, it's a really cool thing to have as a part of Beyonce's album. I love Beyonce more and more lately, and Emmy's Lemonade, it's about Jay-Z cheating on her, and it features like Jack White, The Weeknd, James Blake, Kendrick Lamar. Like, I mean, just the feature list alone is awesome. but also it's Beyonce. It's mostly written by Jay-Z, even though most of it's about Jay-Z. I think it's really cool. It has to have this 15 rated on it because I think that must be for the visuals, the movie or whatever that's on the DVD. But you can tell that it's heavier or thicker at least. So like I didn't realize it was 2 discs until I actually watched a video on it. I had listened to the album and not really clocked that it was 2 discs. So yeah, that was really cool. I might watch that one day soon. Just plug it into the PlayStation or something. This is another classic, Tyler the Creator, Igor. You probably saw it on the back. Yeah, I mean, it's Igor. There's nothing I can say about Igor that hasn't really been said before. Tyler's someone that I haven't covered on the channel yet either, but maybe will get to at some point because I do like Tyler the Creator a lot. I like a lot of what he does. This is cardboard art, right? This is like the Billie Eilish one, but it doesn't have the lyrics spammed in the middle. It's got cool, interesting artwork, so that the fact that you've bought the physical copy actually means something. All of his albums are cardboard albums, which is unfortunate because I think that they would look better in plastic cases, but just do it like that, Billie. What are we doing? I don't know who's in charge of her CDs, but yeah, I know that's been a theme for a bit here, but yeah, Igor. This is probably a lot of people's favorite albums, especially by Tyler the Creator. I think that's one that people love. We've got one of my favorite albums, Long Live ASAP by A$AP Rocky. I used to listen to this all the time. This is one of the first albums I got. I asked for it for, I don't know. I asked for it for Christmas maybe one year. This is probably when I started collecting CDs. And someone gave it to me and I listened to it all the time. It's a deluxe edition as well, so it's got, 4 extra bonus tracks, one of them being Angels, which if you don't know Angels, go listen to Angels. Angels is an awesome song. But even Phoenix, Suddenly, Fashion Killer, Wild for the Night with Skrillex is a bit of a weird one, but other than that, this album is just really solid front to back. A$AP Rocky is awesome. I love A$AP Rocky. Oh, and I've got them next to each other. So we've got At Long Last A$AP, which is another really classic album by A$AP. And I know I'm saying classic album a lot, but it is just classic. Like, it's not a classic, but it is just like, if you don't listen to this, I don't really know if you're listening to music. Like, you're just not. Really cool artwork. I love this album cover with the 2 pictures of A$AP Rocky. You've got his hand, you've got this scar here, which I believe is Yams, because Yams passed away. Another Schoolboy Q feature on this one, which I love the Schoolboy Q if you haven't clocked already. And then we have the infamous, I don't know where the other one is. Hopefully it comes up soon so they can get put together. I will put them together anyway once I find it. This is, I mean, probably a lot of people say it's one of the best albums ever, if not the best album ever. To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar. This, however, is the clean version. So all of the swear words are censored. I had asked for it for Christmas, and a family member bought it for me, not realizing that this was the clean version or how much swearing is in this, because I mean, there's a lot that's censored in this album, being the censored version, and it's quite funny listening to it almost. That family member did actually end up going and buying the real original copy, so I do have both, but I don't want to get rid of this clean version because it gives a little bit of story and it's cool, and it also means that if I want to swap the discs, if one of the cases gets a bit trashed or something, I can do that pretty easily with all the art being the same. So, I mean, it's To Pimp a Butterfly. This is like one of the greatest albums ever. Everybody knows this. I'm not going to go much further than that. Then we got Kid Cudi, which I don't really understand the act things that are on the back. Is this just one disc? Yeah, this is just one disc. I don't really understand it. On the back, it's a really cool album. I love this album. This is Man on the Moon 3? Or just Man on the Moon? Man on the Moon, The End of the Day. Yeah, this is Man on the Moon. 2009. This is like the original Day and Night, right? Like we're talking like OG, right? Solo Dolo, cool song. Day and Night, awesome. Like Alive. Make Her Say with Kanye and Common, which samples Lady Gaga's song from the year before this album came out. I love the era in that late 2000s period where people were sampling songs that had been released maybe a year before. Some of them are still classics, some of them aren't, like, or like referencing songs. Like there's Lil Wayne songs on Carter 3 where he's talking about like Umbrella released like the year before by Rihanna. So it's like just really cool that they were doing that at the time, whereas most of the time now people are only sampling really old songs, or at least songs a couple years old, whether, so you have a bit more of an understanding of if it's a hit or not, and if you want to be sampling hits or if you want to be sampling underground stuff, how do you know if it's only just come out? But it's really cool they did sort of stuff like that. It's got like a galaxy as the disc art. I think that's pretty sick. The Man on the Moon as the album cover. That's quite cool. Kid Cudi over there. This is Exhibit. This case is cracked down here, but this is quite cool. Man vs. Machine. This is a Dr. Dre album. It's produced by Dr. Dre. It's called Exhibit, Man vs. Machine. It's really, see, the case is literally falling apart. I don't know when, I must have dropped it or something, but yeah, this is a cool one. This is a really good album, actually. Really underrated, and some of the best Dre production as far as non-Dre albums go, like an album that isn't 2001 or The Chronic. Obviously, he's got Eminem stuff and he's got Snoop Dogg stuff, but there's actually really good beats on this album that I think people ignore a lot of the time. Exhibit is probably the only artist that I'm going to have, starting with X. We got The Weeknd. This is my favorite The Weeknd album. Beauty Behind the Madness. Real life. Intro's crazy. Labyrinth feature on the second song. Like, I can't even express how much I love this album compared to his newer stuff. This era of The Weeknd is my favorite. I mean, it has the there's a song by with a Kanye feature on it. I think it's Tell Your Friends Maybe. I don't know. One of the songs in the start is produced by Kanye, and it's so good, and you can just tell by the way it was produced, and being in a similar era to 808s, even though it was after 808s. Yeah, just a really good album. MF Doom. Food. I think this was a gift as well. This is a really cool CD. The artwork is crazy. Obviously, everybody talks about the front, the main artwork, but even like if you look at this alternate art on the back that they have, like it's a full deliberate drawing and just cool thing. This must be oh, right, great. So this is why I don't love the middle part ones. I pulled out the middle part and the whole thing came out. Food Drive Tour bonus DVD. That's sick. I've never watched this either. There's another DVD that I've got. I don't know if this was... I don't think this was a anniversary edition. Because they did an anniversary edition of Food last year. This isn't it. This is an older copy. But it does have a DVD in it, which is sick. I will actually be watching that at some point. Because, yeah, MF Doom's really interesting as just an artist, and his career, and the way that he didn't really see the height of his success. Like, he wasn't unsuccessful, but he didn't get to be the MF Doom that we all kind of know, and the popularity that we all kind of know, until well after his death, I guess. Is this supposed to open this way? No, this is the middle one. Why is it not shutting? I got it. Anyway. Yeah, that's really cool. MF Doom. I didn't know there was a DVD in there, so I'm going to have to watch that at some point. I'll put that on my list. This is another, like, I wouldn't say this is a great album, but this is the best album by this artist. This is Jack Harlow, Jackman. It's short. It doesn't have as much pop influence sort of stuff that he was going for in the album before this. It's a shame that Jack Harlow isn't focused on making music like this as much as he probably should have been, because like, yeah, his career could have gone so much different if he did more stuff like Jackman. I don't think it's great, but I think that it's way better than some of the stuff that he has released, especially before Jackman. I think if he skipped a lot of that and just started with this would have been a good entry point. But I think because of the sales of something like Jackman, like, you're not going to keep making music very often if this is what your output is. Like, it's not worth it. Foo Fighters we've got here. We've got The Color and the Shape. That's another cool one. I don't love Foo Fighters as much as I love Nirvana. I know my friend is a huge Fooey's fan, but I like them. They're okay, they're good. I think that Dave Grohl isn't as good as a lead as Kurt Cobain was, but, you know, that's just me. We got Bruno Mars on Orthodox Jukebox here. This is a really good one. 10 tracks, Bruno Mars at the height of his career, and I know people say that he's still as good as he was, but again, I love this old Bruno. Like, I just think that's some of the best pop of that era. I mean, we got a classic I spoke about probably in the first week. The very first video I made, I spoke about D'Angelo for a bit. So I've got Voodoo here. Voodoo is probably one of the best albums of all time. It's the best R&B album ever. D'Angelo is the GOAT of R&B, that is without a doubt. I think the only, especially male R&B singers, like, you're not even gonna put Usher or Chris Brown in a similar argument to D'Angelo. D'Angelo is the blueprint for any of these artists, and even still, I don't think any of them have ever come close, and they kind of almost make pop music compared to D'Angelo making real R&B. I love D'Angelo. I will always love D'Angelo. We've got SZA, SOS. This is a really good album. Forgot that I got this, to be honest. I haven't listened to this in ages, on CD at least. Really cool album cover. Pretty basic insides, just SOS SZA on the front there. I don't actually have a new album, the deluxe of SOS. But like, this album's already 23 tracks long. That's something I want to get into in another video maybe, is deluxe albums being just so confusing sometimes. But SZA's really good. Michael Jackson, Off the Wall. This is my favorite Michael Jackson album. I have, 3 or 4, and Off the Wall is by far my favorite. I think it's just, you don't get better than Off the Wall. It just doesn't exist. There is a height of music quality, and Off the Wall is in that height. I think like D'Angelo's in that height as well with Voodoo, but yeah, Off the Wall is just like, whew. We've got Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. This is one of my favorite rock albums. Really cool artwork throughout all of Smashing Pumpkins stuff. Every time I play Smashing Pumpkins around like my family or like older people, they're always like, "Oh, I love Smashing Pumpkins." Like, everybody likes Smashing Pumpkins, I think, and it's kind of just, yeah, really good quality music that you can be really nerdy into the music side of things and go, wow, this is really quality work, and you can just be very surface level into rock and be like, yeah, Smashing Pumpkins are sick, and I think either way is fine, because I love this album. We are going to put that over here, and then we've got Daft Punk. This is Discovery. I always forget the album names of Daft Punk stuff. It almost looks like this is a swivel, but it can't be. Oh, yeah, this is falling apart. This was an inherited album. I didn't buy this, so it is in a bit of a rough condition. Oh, I've got to get this back in. Damn it. Yeah, okay, this is going to be a pain for somebody, and that somebody is me. The album has come out of the... Cool, anyway. Yeah, there's some plastic fell out of that. It's definitely broken, but this is a good album. I mean, I'm not the biggest Daft Punk fan, but like, when I do listen to Daft Punk, I enjoy it. I can't really fault them for that. Okay, that's it. That's pile 4 done. I got 4 more to go, so we're halfway. I hope you're enjoying this video. If you are, this format is maybe something that I could replicate in just a talking to the camera sort of thing. maybe without doing something like this. I also just mainly wanted to make this video because I needed to sort through my stuff. So if you don't enjoy it, I don't really care. This is getting something done productively outside of the video. But I thought it might be interesting to just showcase what I actually am into and the sort of music that I like outside of what I talk about. Because obviously I talk about a lot of music throughout the videos, but they're more focused stuff. This is a broad look at the music and the styles and the artists that I'm into. And yeah, drop a subscribe, drop a comment. I don't think I'm going to split this into 2 parts. I'm just going to film it in 2 parts. I'm going to go eat something and just stretch for a bit because I've been sitting down for a while. And then, yeah, I'm going to come back and do the other half. Cool. All right. We're back. Now, I know to you guys it probably doesn't feel like it's been very long. Pardon the burps. Because it's probably not been very long. But we're back with Pile 5, sorting CDs. To you guys, it hasn't been very long, obviously, but I went and had dinner and all sorts of shit. But we're going to start off, we're going to go just crack right into it. We're going to try and speed run, and then I might talk a little bit about other things. So we're not going to talk about the albums as much unless I have something really that I want to say. There's some random things that I think that I probably don't really need to talk too much about, but we'll get through that. Tyler, the Creator, Flower Boy, Scumfuck, Flower Boy. It actually says Scumfuck, Flower Boy. A lot of people just call it Flower Boy because like Scumfuck is probably a bit like vulgar to just be like saying. This is really cool artwork again. Like the paperbacks that Tyler does are very well thought out in comparison to others. Obviously, I speak about Billy's being quite bad a lot, but yeah, the disc is really cool. It's just a B, but it's really sick because it's just got like the shiny reflective disc look and then just the B printed on top, which is really sick. Yeah. Really cool album as well. Just, yeah, sounds good. But anyway, as I go through Hiatus Kaiyote, Choose Your Weapon. Tyler's over here, sorry. Anyway, yeah. I'm just going to go through some things as well around the channel and the videos and stuff. I am not doing this for views because I don't really do it for, well, like, I guess I'm doing it for myself in a way of I want to get better at something, and making videos is something that I want to improve on, and finding what works for me and what works for an audience that I want to gather. But I don't have that audience yet. My content hasn't found all of the people that I think would watch my content, as well as the fact that my content isn't as good as it will get, I hope. Right, I am constantly trying to improve things, and you know, I'm just pumping out videos every week is a difficult thing to do in the first place. I think like it does take a lot to do that, and I never really realized until I've started doing it. And I set myself the goal of doing weeklies, and that is the plan for now. But at some point, I might dial it back to every fortnight or something. Or change the style of content maybe so I have a more chill, less edited video that's also longer like this. And then the week after I might do a more scripted, well thought out video. So I have a bit more time to research that thing. Whereas this didn't take any research. This is just me sitting down, talking about some shit. You know, maybe I could do videos like this where I just pick a handful of artists and I just go through a couple of things about them that I like, or you know, I could just, I want to do a video maybe where I sit down and talk about like the concerts that I've been to and live performances and what I find good at a live performance and what I, you know, what I don't, I guess. This is Organized Confusion, the Equinox. So Organized Confusion are a group, I think this came with the Ice Cube and the 50 Cent albums and stuff. I don't really care for it personally. I'm gonna, yeah, that's, yeah, okay. Then we got Britney Spears, Greatest Hits. My Prerogative. Now, I like Britney Spears. I think she's cool. I don't like compilation albums. This is the greatest hits album, so I don't really care for it. But it was $1, and it's got some good songs like Toxic and, you know, Oops, I Did It Again and stuff like that. Baby One More Time. There's some cool stuff on there. But yeah, I'm not huge into Britney Spears. I just thought it was $1. It's a decent, you know, collection of songs for $1. This one I didn't pay the price that's on the front, but I haven't gotten rid of the other hype sticker. This is T.I. Paper Trails. This is really underrated record nowadays, at least. I think back in the day it was probably quite big, obviously, and I think a lot of people would know a lot of these songs. Swagger Like Us is just an awesome song. The Kanye production is just elite. Another one where they've sampled a song that came out literally in the same year. Yeah, but T.I. was huge, and I think people kind of forget who T.I. is because he's not, you know, as relevant anymore as he used to be, but definitely was massive. This you probably can't see because of the album cover, but it is signed. This is Kings of Leon, Only by the Night, and it's signed by Tex Walker, Taylor Walker. He's a football player that uses Sex on Fire as his goal song. So every time he kicks a goal, they play Sex on Fire, and he's actually retiring at the end of this year. So I got this signed last year, I think, or yeah, I think it was last year. And yeah, I got it signed. I think it was really cool. It was a bit of a shit texter, so you know that's a bit of a shame because he didn't use the texter that I brought. He used his own that he had, but it was a bit shit. But I got it signed. I think that's really cool. Just for me personally, Tex is someone that he's a football player, sportsman that I've kind of always paid enough attention to over the years. De La Soul, AOI Bionics. This is Artificial Intelligence. There was like 2 or 3 of these albums, I think. This came out 2023. It's quite a good one. Obviously, it's not like OG De La Soul, like the old stuff, but they don't have a CD of, at least not one that you can go and get, of 3 Feet High and Rising. They don't have it at all. So, yeah, that's a bit of a shame. De La Soul, ABCD. Yeah, but with the channel, like I think that there's a lot I want to do. As I mentioned in even like the first video, I want to talk about like movies and stuff maybe one point, but I'm not sure when I'm going to get to that. And also like I don't know as much about movies as I do music. I love movies and I do watch them with a similar critical lens that I listen to music. But I also don't have as much expertise or haven't spent as much time, I don't think. And there's a lot of movies that are like kind of really big and I've never seen them, and it's like, you know, well, how can you be a movie guy on the internet if you haven't seen this movie or that movie or this movie? And I guess that's maybe a talking point in itself, but yeah, I do want to do stuff like that, and I want to go over some things like characters or just general storytelling, narrative, artistic things, but music is my focus. Maybe it'll be a different channel for that stuff like that. I'm not sure. This is Outkast Aquemini. I love Outkast. I spoke about Andre the other day, and I will be speaking about Outkast as a duo this week, I believe, or you know, in a video that comes out either before or after this. I love Aquemini. All this art is really cool. The inside, the outside, everything. Love it. I love Outkast. Another Tyler the Creator, Chromacopia. Really, really, really good quality paperback CD. Like the paper of the CD is really good. It's really well made. There's a huge booklet in there, in this side, and then the disc in this side, and the disc can only come out through the inside. Sometimes the disc is like an empty sleeve and it can come out this way or that way, and that just, it gets messy sometimes and they kind of slide out. Chromacopia is a classic album of the last couple years. I think it's a really good, you know, example of what quality recent music looks like. This is Denzel Curry's Zoo. I spoke earlier about how much I love Denzel Curry. Zoo is a really good record. I think a lot of people talk about Taboo or Melt My Eyes, but Zoo is one that needs to be talked about a bit more often, I think. We got Radiohead Kid A. This is like a Singaporean release. This was a hand-me-down, but it's got a lot of Chinese writing on it and stuff. It's probably a bootleg, but it is actually really cool. So, and I listened to it not that long ago. Never really been massive on Radiohead, but when I do get into it, and I got to be in a certain zone, I think, mentally and emotionally maybe, for me to be able to really enjoy Radiohead. But I do like Radiohead. Like, it is good when I do get into it. Now we have the Kanye stack. So the other day I did the Kanye video, and I did obviously show off my Kanye albums. We got Graduation. What's this? College Dropout. 808s. 808s is my favorite. I'm not going to speak too much about Kanye because I literally did a whole video on him. But 808s is my favorite, and it always will be. This was one of the first CDs that I got because I love 808s. This is my most recent copy of a Kanye CD, is Kids See Ghosts. I love all of the album art and all that sort of stuff. It's really well crafted album, being 7 songs and only 7 songs. It's expensive considering it's got 7 songs on it. But yeah, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, another one I got really early on. Yeezus. I remember when I saw Yeezus in the shop, I was like, oh my God, I don't believe that they actually like have it with the thing. I thought it would have been a picture of this, but it is actually just this. This is a clear case with a blank CD with an actual sticker on it that like has a tearaway bit. And I think that's sick. Like, that is so awesome that that is it. And then it's got all this text on the back that like nobody really cares. But like, yeah, Yeezus I love now. I never used to love Yeezus. I spoke about that in the video that I did. Late Registration. This is Donda. Donda's got a huge crack in it, but I think that like helps me remember that it is Donda, because like, yeah, it's really hard to tell. This one's got some sort of shit foam or something on it that I can't get off. It's like sticky shit. But yeah, this CD's been trashed. It's been thrown around my car heaps. But this is Watch the Throne with Jay-Z. And then that's all my Kanye albums, I believe. Maybe I might be missing one. If I do find it, I'll let you know. And then I got Jay-Z 444. So that's another good one. That is my entire stack. Most of that is Kanye, but I'm going to talk a little bit before I head on to the next segment. Yeah, I mean, the channel, this is my first time like actually trying full try to do content of this format. I'm also, my aim isn't to, you know, get 1 million subscribers or anything like that. My aim is to create content that I would watch. And I know that I'm not really going to be watching my videos, but I'm trying to create content for the audience that watches stuff like I watch. And I watch so much music content, and I always have. I mean, like I watch other stuff as well, obviously. I like gaming content and movies and stuff like that, and just random niche topics like that as well. But music is always in my YouTube recommended. It's always in my feed. It's always on my TikTok, my Instagram, everything. I haven't done any short form to do with this, you know, persona or whatever of Jack Jason. But like, yeah, music is just so important to me in my life, and I will always love music and have something to say about something. I wanted to create videos mostly timeless in a way, where I'm not just talking about the most recent album, giving my, you know, relative review. I think the only times that I want to do time-focused things are end-of-year reviews, kind of recaps of what I liked in the year. Or if I'm talking about an artist and their album only just came out, but I listened to it and I'm talking about that album as well as the rest of their catalog or whatever, like, that's fine. But I think talking about going, oh my God, Trippie Redd just dropped a new album, let's listen to this and let's talk about Trippie Redd's new album. Like, I don't think that's interesting for more than a week. And especially if Trippie Redd's album doesn't succeed, like, nobody is going to care about that video in 2 weeks' time. And so there's no point. Talking about you know, posthumous releases or Kanye as a whole, these are legacy things that I think can like mean something to an audience member or a viewer of my channel at any point in time. If somebody found my channel in 10 years, even if it's been abandoned by then, I hope that there's at least some content that people can still watch and go, oh, this makes sense, this is interesting, you know. And it's less about the time, it's more about the idea of what I'm talking about. I think that's what I enjoy watching as well. I watch videos that are years old, but it's about something I wanted to learn about or I'm interested in. And it's like, well, why does it matter when it was released if it's not about something about that time? And even if it is about that time, if it's filmed in a way or written in a way that isn't necessarily about that specific time period and about, you know, a broader understanding or idea, I think that's, you know, quality content. So yeah, we're going to switch over to the next stack of CDs and then we'll talk some more. We're on to stack number 6, maybe. We're on stack number 6. Yeah, this is a long video, I'm realizing, but I think that's fine. I think that's the idea. I just want to talk and see if it captures maybe a different sort of audience or gives a different sort of content at least to what I'm regularly doing. So we're going to start off. Top of the stack is Whole Lotta Red by Playboi Carti. It's the only Carti album I have. I do like Playboi Carti. I think that there is better artists. I think that he is probably... I mean, it makes sense that he's as big as he is, so I'm not really like so confused about it. But yeah, I think, you know, Whole Lotta Red is definitely a staple. I do also like Playboi Carti, the self-titled album, and Die Lit, I think it is. We got a sealed album here, still in the plastic here. The Fugees, The Score. This is a really good album. I don't know why I haven't listened to it. I do need to go through and listen to my albums, but I think at the start of next year I want to listen to my CDs in alphabetical order, so sorting them in alphabetical order is a nice thing to do. And then once I've gone through all my CDs, you know, as well as listening to new releases and other things when I want, once I've gotten through all my CDs, then I can go, okay, I've listened to everything. That's good. And then I can say I've actually made good use in that year of using all my CDs, because I do find myself often picking up the same CDs that are at the top of the pile sort of thing and going through the same 30, 40 albums, which I know is a lot, but you know, when you've got probably over 150, 200 albums on CD, you know, going through that many is a lot to do. But I think it's a good idea, it's a good challenge to try and put myself to the test of doing. So we've got the Fugees here. We got Jimi Hendrix, Cornerstones. This, I believe, is a knockoff, but it's cool. It's a good album. I've only listened to it once, but I do like Jimi Hendrix. It is a compilation, in a way, 1967 and 1970. But you've got some good songs on here, so I don't really mind. And I'm not huge into Jimi Hendrix, but I like him enough to, you know, have that copy. I've got Beyonce, Dangerously in Love. This is old Beyonce. We got Crazy in Love. It's the first song. 03 Bonnie and Clyde is like one of my favorite Beyonce Jay-Z songs. It's the first Beyonce Jay-Z song, but I love it. Yeah, I love Beyonce. I think Beyonce is like so well rated. You know, people often talk about overrated and underrated artists, and I think there are certain artists that are actually perfectly rated. And I think Beyonce sometimes enters the sphere of conversation of overrated, but I don't think so. I think she's deserving of a lot of the accolades and the things that she's done. And when you actually go and listen to Beyonce's catalog, like you kind of get it. And I know that her artistry itself isn't maybe as quality as the music is, but because she has really good writers and producers around her, like she's got the Pharrells and the Kanyes and stuff like that around her sometimes, and she's got Jay-Z writing for her sometimes and stuff like that. But it's also like, if you have that capability, why not create the best of music that you can by bringing in all these different artists for features or production or writing or whatever else. Like, I don't think that that's a bad thing. If the music is good, the music is good, point blank. So I really like Beyonce. I think she's really well rated. Next, we have a really good album that I love, Alice in Chains' Dirt, another rock album that I live for. I got into them only probably last year, but as I got into a little bit of a rock phase last year, I was really, really, really into Alice in Chains and Dirt. Next, we have De La Soul, Cabin in the Sky. I saw De La Soul earlier this year. I spoke about that in my first video, I think, and it was the tour for this album. This album is their first album since Dave passed away, one of the 3 members. It's got a little sleeve, and then it's got this cool little album cover. It's got a crack in it, which is really annoying me. But it's got some really cool typography, I think. The writing style is really cool. And I think having it in the case is a really nice touch as well. It does cost a little bit extra sometimes to have that extra look, but yeah, a really good album, and I'm surprised that they had it at the shop that I bought it from when I bought it from the shop, because De La Soul aren't as huge as they used to be, but yeah, that album is actually really good for their age, and being a member down, people got behind them, and all of their collaborators supported their idea of the album and stuff like that, which is really cool. Next, we have Dr. Dre, The Chronic. I love The Chronic, obviously. I think The Chronic is a good album. It's got the big marijuana plant as the disc art, which is sick. I mean, it's the introduction of Snoop Dogg and stuff like that, and I think it's just really good. I think it's funny that the executive producer is Suge Knight. I think Suge Knight's a bit of a dickhead. Yep, that's right, I said it. Come for me, Suge Knight. Come for me, come get me. Yeah, I think that's a bit funny, considering Dr. Dre is the guy. I don't really know why you need an executive producer that's not Dre, but that's fine. It's just so Suge Knight gets his royalties. Then we have the Black Album by, well, it's not the Black Album, but it's the Black Album by Metallica. It's Metallica featuring by Metallica, whatever it is. It's got Enter Sandman, and I think Enter Sandman's one of the best rock songs of that era. Not that I'm really I don't nerd out about as much rock as I probably could, because I don't know. I like rock, and I do really enjoy it, but it's not my expertise. As you might know, the pop, the rap, the R&B, the soul, even that sort of stuff I know really well. Rock is something that I've dipped my toes in enough to understand the basics, but I don't know all of these little niche things, and it's a very different genre to what I'm used to. Hip-hop, I feel like, is very easy to understand. Maybe that's just because I've already understood it, but I don't know. We do have 2000 by Joey Badass. Really, really, really unfortunate that the first song features Diddy. Yes, Diddy is on the first track of Joey Badass's album 2000. But, I mean, obviously people, when it came out, compared it to 1999, because that was the idea, is that it's it's not in 1999 anymore, it's 2000. And it came out obviously 10 years later or something. But I actually think that if you just look at 2000 as its own album, it is really good. And I love Brandy 911 featuring Westside Gunn. I mean, that's what got me into Westside Gunn, and maybe I was a bit late onto the party because this is 2022-ish, maybe 2023 when 2000 came out, and I didn't really listen to Westside Gunn much. It also has Larry June on One of Us, but I didn't really get really into Larry's personal work until later. But yeah, Westside Gunn I really got into because of Brandy 911. I love that song. And this is actually a good album. People kind of gloss over it because it's not 1999. But 2000 is really quality if you ignore the fact that Diddy's on the first track. So that's Joey Badass. I only have that album. That's the only one I have by Joey. This was a gift because Mum said if you have women in the car, they might not want to listen to all your hip-hop music. So she got me So Fresh Hits of the Summer 2023, the best of 2022. We're talking Green Green Grass by George Ezra. There's, I don't, it's still sealed. I've had this for, 3 or 4 years now, and it's still sealed. So like, I'm never going to listen to it really. I don't really care for it, but I'm not going to get rid of it. There's no point. It's not worth shit. It's not an actual album. It is a compilation album of random slop. But there is actually some half okay songs on here. You've got Bad Habit by Steve Lacy. I like Steve Lacy. You've got Romantic Homicide by David. D4VD. That's a bit of an unfortunate one. Poland by Lil Yachty. That's a really good song. I love Poland. I love Lil Yachty. TV by Billie Eilish. That's a good one as well. Like there's some okay songs on here. I think there's a lot of shit ones. Like they have Enemy from the Arcane show with Imagine Dragons and Jid. I don't know if you guys know about the Jid Imagine Dragons song. Jid's verse is still really good, even though it's an Imagine Dragons song, but it's just not like worth listening to. Woman by Doja Cat, maybe not. There's like, but then it's like you've got Betty Get Money by Young Gravy. If we're talking shit that I might know about, it's like, what are we doing here? And then there's Shawn Mendes and like Marshmello and Elton John, Britney Spears, and who cares? This was shit that used to be really popular when I was growing up. I'm surprised that they still make them. I think it's really embarrassing that they still make them, but it is in theory it's good value. It says lyrics included, so it must all be in the book or something, or I don't know. And it says 34 tracks. Like there's a lot of songs on here. The first disc is 19 songs. The second disc is 15 songs. That's really good. That's good value in theory if you want to listen to like radio songs from 4 years ago. But who wants to listen to radio songs from 4 years ago? I mean, obviously when it came out, it was recent radio songs, but they play it on the radio. What the fuck do you need this for? Like back then, maybe in like 2008, sure, but like 2022, why are we still making this? Like albums, I get. Albums on CD own the physical copy. This is not going to anybody except the labels. This isn't supporting an artist as much as it is supporting the label who goes, oh, well, we kind of have the rights to all this music. Let's just dump it on a CD and say this is pretty good. Like it's a Sony album. And I assume it's just Sony and UMG and Sony. So it's probably just them going, yep, we both own this catalog. You give them one CD and we'll give them another CD and we'll call it one thing. I don't know. I think it's a bit shit, to be honest. if I'm really honest with you, I think it's a bit shit. We got The Weeknd, After Hours. I really like After Hours. I think I don't go back to it as much as I do some of the older Weeknd stuff, like Starboy or Beauty Behind the Madness. But I do really like The Weeknd. And this is a good album. So I don't really have any reason not to get this. This one is a signed CD. I don't have very many signed CDs by the artist. This is a EP maybe, or it's like a single or something by a band called So So. They were doing a promotion on their Instagram basically. It was just like, you buy a sticker or a stubby holder or something and we'll send you out a CD for free or something like that. It was like really, it's obviously a small Australian band that were trying to get their music out by promoting it with like, we'll pretty much hand this CD out to you for free. And I bought like a sticker or a stubby holder or something, and they sent it out and they signed it and they left a whole little note and they texted me. It was really, really wholesome and cute. I've never actually listened to it. Like shout out to So-So for, signing all this stuff and doing that for me. But I don't think it's not really what I'm into. It is rock. It's like Aussie pub rock sort of thing. And it's funny that they did all this and I still haven't listened to it. Maybe one day one day I want to go through all my CDs in order. Hopefully at the start of next year I'll go through my entire collection, but I'll get through it then. But yeah, at the moment I don't have any interest in listening to this properly, but yeah, it was free and it's signed. I think I think that's pretty cool. It's a good way of getting your music out. It's a good way of getting your music out. I just knocked some off the table, but yeah, it's cool. I don't know. I only have 2 actually officially signed CDs, and that's one of them. And there's 2 band members or 3 band members or something that signed it. I think that's pretty sick. Maybe it's all 5. I can't really tell. Some of the signatures are really small. This is Run the Jewels 4 Quattro. So it's not Run the Jewels 4, it's the Spanish remix version. Every Run the Jewels album has like a almost not a troll version, but they have like a remixy sort of thing that exists. They did a Run the Jewels 2 had like a cat one, and it was like every song as if it was entirely cats. And it's like the beats are like meowing, and it's like so weird. But just like obviously a show of what LP can do as far as producing. This one they had a bunch of like Latino rappers and singers and stuff jump on all the songs that they did for Run the Jewels 4, which is quite cool, I think. Like, but also I don't really speak Spanish, and I had never heard this version of the album before, and I thought it was Run the Jewels 4, and it wasn't. It was Run the Jewels Cuatro. So it's just like an entire Latin remixed version of the album, but I think it's fine. It's okay. I don't really hate it. I don't love it. It sits in the middle somewhere. I like Run the Jewels. I didn't realize that it was the Spanish version. I thought it was just Run the Jewels 4, and I went, oh my god, I love Run the Jewels 4. Let me get that. I just saw the logo of the hand and the gun and the fist or whatever it is, and I went, yeah, I want that. Like, that's sick. How do I do it like that? I thought that was sick. But I went, yep, Run the Jewels album. I love Run the Jewels. This is the first time I've seen a Run the Jewels album in the store. I need to get some of the old ones. I still don't have any of them. I might have got Run the Jewels 4, like the actual one, but other than that, I don't know. Maybe not. I've definitely seen it. I'm not sure. Anyway, Run the Jewels Cuatro, which I didn't intend to buy, really. Okay, let me just sort this out. The Weeknd, I'm going to put that one just down there for now. We got Drake, Honestly Nevermind. There's another Drake album. I have a lot of Drake albums. This is his like dance hall album. I think it's actually better than people give it credit for, but it's not great. I think that there's definitely better Drake albums, that's for sure, but I just have a lot of Drake albums. I just own most of them. They're always in the shops, so it's really easy to just go get a Drake album as well, so it's not really an issue. This is Lupe Fiasco's Samurai. This is a cardboard one, but I like the drawing on the inside. It's the album cover without the color on it. I think that's really cool. It's got just it's like 8 songs or something on it. Yeah, there's 8 songs on this album. It's really short, it's really concise. It's got all the like credits on the inside. It's not too informational, but I think that's cool. I think that's part of the style of this album. I do really enjoy this album. I think people kind of got turned away when he started doing the publicity marketing for it and stuff and saying, you know, it's about Amy Winehouse, if she was a samurai battle rapper, and people were like, that's a bit confusing. I think I get that. I listening to the album, I kind of understand what he's talking about and like what he means when he's saying that, and how I can imagine him writing a lot of these songs from that perspective. But also, just if you just listen to the songs and you go, let's just listen to what he's saying and the beats and stuff like that, I think it's actually pretty good. Like, just as an album, it's fine. I don't really know why people were so quick to go, oh, what the fuck, I don't want to listen to that shit. And it's also, I mean, it's Lupe Fiasco. He was a lot bigger than he is now. But I think this should be more recognised. Samurai by Lupe Fiasco. Where's L? Right there in the middle. This one has stickers on it from whoever I got this hand me down to. This is Coldplay Parachutes. I don't love Coldplay, but I was like, this is a big artist, so I'm gonna get the album from. This is the same thing. This is Blur. I don't hate Blur. I think Blur is quite okay. I haven't listened to enough of them, I think, to be able to say whether I do or don't rate them. Anyway, we're going to skip through those and we're going to go straight to Future DS2. This is one that I wanted for ages, and when I finally found it, I went, oh my god, it's DS2. I have to buy it, and I bought it straight away, and I probably didn't need to be spending as much as I did on this album, but it was a really, really, really cool purple disc. It's the same thing as the Eminem. Hi. I want to insert this video into the CD sorting video because I am halfway through sorting through a pile of my CDs. and my camera's gone flat, so I'm not sure if the footage is going to be working or saved or anything, or if it just cuts off randomly or abruptly. I'll put this clip in there. Otherwise, yeah, not sure. But I'm going to charge my camera and get back to filming. It is getting late in the day though, so I might have to do the rest tomorrow. But either way, I will continue sorting through my CDs because it needs to be done. And hopefully my recording didn't corrupt or anything. That would be helpful. That would be nice. Yeah, so we're gonna charge the camera in it right now, and then jump straight back into filming my CD sorting. Okay, so I hope that I've inserted the video that I recorded on my phone before. My camera went flat in the middle of talking about this, and none of the video saved at all. So, and I know I was definitely talking about some, like, I was having good conversations because I wanted to bring a, I want to talk about different things in each segment sort of thing, and I was talking about each album, obviously. So I will, maybe I didn't. I'm just going to continue off where I was. If I have to go through some of these albums, I got some De La Soul, I got Dr. Dre, The Chronic, a Drake album, Honestly Nevermind, Beyonce, Alice in Chains, whatever. DS2 by Future is the album that I'm up to, and I love this album. Basically, I'm just going to go with that, and I'm going to just try and continue off where I was. We got Georgia Smith. I saw Georgia Smith live in 2024, a couple of years ago now. She was a really good performer. Some of the more emotional songs actually like made me tear up a little bit. There were these two blokes, this group of guys that were at the concert that I think they just went because it was just something on in town, and they were really annoying when they were right next to me, and they were like kind of like getting a bit rowdy, and I went with my sister. It was pretty like, I'm into this music, right? Like I actually cared about what was going on, and she was singing like slow songs and stuff, and they were like hooting and hollering next to me, and I was like, bro, like shut up. Anyway, and they were obviously really drunk as well, and I'm pretty sure I drove home that day, so I didn't drink. But yes, Georgia Smith, I love Georgia Smith. I think she's a really talented artist, and I hope that she continues on that path and on that trajectory. We've got another Outkast album, Stankonia. This is my favorite Outkast album. That's all I've got to say about that, to be honest. I'm talking about Outkast in the next video that I make, and I've just talked about Andre, so I don't think I need to go over Andre or Outkast too much. I've got Utopia by Travis Scott here. This is a really good album, obviously. As much as I said in my first video that Killer Mike deserved best album that year, Utopia is still good. I don't think people maybe got that message across. But yeah, I do love Travis Scott. I do love Utopia. I remember where I was when this came out. It was a monumental release. I love Astroworld. Like, obviously I was going to like Utopia. That's not a question. Do I have... That goes there, okay. Now this is Genesis Owusu Struggler, but it's empty. So, I'm not sure... Oh, that's right, I put it in the empty case, but I already spoke about Struggler. Genesis Owusu, really good, really cool. And then we finally have Mac Miller Circles. Now this is a really good album. I spoke about Mac Miller obviously on the channel. I'm going to try and make this relatively quick for the sake of the video because my camera might go flat. But yes, I do love Mac Miller. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much else to say about the music, the albums that I've got. I'm not sure what was captured on the camera beforehand. I think it might have worked, I think it might not have. I can't tell. So, regardless, I've got 2 more piles to go. So we're going to start them and we're just going to go fresh. This segment was a bit chopped up because of the camera dying. I'm going to try and just churn into the next ones though while I still have battery on the camera. All right, cool. Yeah, I got to be relatively quick with the next 2 segments. If I have anything else to add in this video, I'll record it tomorrow. I might be in a different outfit, so it won't work for consistency, but we're going to go through some albums just because we're getting to some good ones here, I can see. Not that any of those weren't good, but yeah, just some other things I want to talk about. Slim Shady LP, Eminem's first album. I don't need to talk about Eminem. We'll do a video maybe about him or something around him at some point. We do have La High by Sampha. This is an extremely underrated album still, and it was big-ish when it came out, but it's only ever improved. Whoever designed the cardboard case of this is terrible. Look at how far off the table it sits by Sampha, right? La High is an amazing album that I love, I live for. I always listen to Sampha, and every time I listen to that album specifically, it gets better and better and better every time. We do then have Wu-Tang Forever. I mentioned Wu-Tang briefly in my video, and I'm talking about Wu-Tang in the upcoming video that I'm doing. So yeah, I do want to talk about Wu-Tang, and this is a really big album. It's a huge album. It's a double LP. It's got 2 albums in it, essentially, and it's got all this cool stuff in it, and it's a really old album. This is an original copy of the CD, whereas the other Wu-Tang album I have is a newer reprint or a reissue. We then have Rihanna, Good Girl Gone Bad, which is cool. I love Rihanna. I think that's a good album. Just, yeah, by far, it's a hugely good, just a really well-made album. Now, this is an album that I maybe not legally copied onto CD because it didn't have a CD release, and it's an underground artist that I really like called Pink Sifu. Black Antique is on this CD. I don't know why I decided to put this one in the case. I do have a folder of burnt off CDs of albums that never got physical releases in CD form, but yes, Pink Sifu is a really cool guy. I really enjoy a lot of the sounds that he's making, even though it's very different to what I'm used to. I do enjoy it. We then have D'Angelo and the Vanguard, Black Messiah. His last album before he passed away. Love D'Angelo, obviously I spoke about him before. We have Enter the Wu-Tang. Again, I'm talking about Wu-Tang this week, so I'm not going to go too deep into what I think or feel about Wu-Tang. I do have the Wu-Tang logo tattooed behind my ear though, so again, I'll probably say that in the video coming up, but yeah, I love this album. Wu-Tang means so much to me. J Dilla, Donuts. I mean, this album is just like, this is the instrumental album. I spoke about DJ Shadow before, but like, yeah, J Dilla is just maybe the only thing that I think is a better, like Donuts is the only album that I can think of that's a better album than, like instrumental album, sorry, than Introducing by DJ Shadow. I think, yeah, Donuts is just unreal. I might talk about producers at some point and go over Donuts, so I won't go too far into it, but yeah, J Dilla is a genius. The story behind that album is just really upsetting, but also really like powerful, so anyway, I'll talk about that another time. We do have another So Fresh album. This is from 2014. I'm not going to talk about that because who cares? We have Nerd, No One Ever Really Dies by Nerd. This is a really cool one I got. I love Pharrell. I live for Pharrell. I just always have loved Pharrell, and this album is really good, even after you just look at the surface level songs that kind of most people know, like Lemon or Voila even. Like, I think there's a lot of good songs on here, a lot of good features. Pharrell is really smart, and that's all I can say about that. Then we have Astroworld by Travis Scott. I mean, I spoke about Travis just before, so I'm not going to go too far into Astroworld, but Travis Scott is another one of my I love Travis Scott. I do. As much as I do, talk down about some of the stuff that I talk about, and I might think certain things, but I do really like his artistry. We got Lupe Fiasco, Superstar is on that album. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm just trying to gloss over this. Black Eyed Peas again, Monkey Business, another old one. I'm actually going to take a break really quick. Okay, we're back. I just went to the toilet, but we've got Views by Drake, another classic Drake album. I mean, some people say that's where the end of his peak was, but it depends how you look at it. I mean, it depends what you're okay with and what you're not, really. But then we've got The Fame by Lady Gaga. I spoke briefly about The Fame in maybe my first video. No, in the genres video, I think. I love The Fame. This was one of the first albums I ever got on CD. This was the first album I played in the car when I got my license. So when I first had the ability to drive without a parent, I was driving to school and I put on The Fame by Lady Gaga, of all things. I do love Lady Gaga. Here we go. Oh, we have Run the Jewels 4, the actual Run the Jewels 4, and not the Spanish one that I also have. I knew I had Run the Jewels 4. Yep, cool. We have Kendrick Lamar's Damn. It's Damn. Again, Kendrick's another artist I want to talk a bit further upon at a later time, in a video at some point maybe. I'm not sure in what context, but I don't want to... Oh my god, my hair's out. Wait, it doesn't matter because I'm getting a haircut tomorrow anyway. I didn't want hair reveals in my videos. I wanted my hair to be a bit of a, unknown. That's another thing about the channel and about these videos, that I didn't want my hair to be in any of the videos, because if I changed my hair, I didn't want it to be something that everybody saw. But I'm getting a haircut tomorrow anyway, so it's fine. That's really against what I wanted to build as law, was that I wanted to always have a hat or a beanie on. Whoops. Anyway, yes, Kendrick is someone I want to cover at another date in some sort of video. I'm not sure how, but I will talk about him another time. This is Ty Dolla $ign's new album. It came out end of last year, maybe start of this year. Tycoon, it's called. It was okay. I bought it as a newer release, not having heard it, and just wanted to see how I felt about it, and it was alright. And my girlfriend loves Ty Dolla $ign, so I bought this and listened to that with her. Then we have Take Care by Drake. This is my favorite Drake album. I don't think that's really, an outrageous take. CD's pretty basic. Most of Drake's CDs are pretty standard, basic CDs, but that's fine with me. We got Red Hot Chili Peppers, By the Way. This is a longer album. I think I prefer this over Californication. And then we have De La Soul is Dead. This is my mum's copy of De La Soul is Dead. That, yeah, I mean, it's just awesome. I do love De La Soul is Dead. That's what got me into De La Soul. That's how I listened to them when they weren't on streaming. Sorry I'm a bit out of it at this later part of the video. It's been many hours since I started doing this sorting, because I had to charge the camera, I had to have dinner, I went to the toilet just before, so it is a bit sporadic and maybe less planned, but I guess that is the point, and I think maybe I'm a bit too concerned about it. Then you as an audience member probably don't really even notice the difference, because it's not overly edited, that's the point, but it's it is edited enough to notice that there isn't much time between things, or you won't really know what's going on in between behind the scenes, obviously. But yeah, I only have one pile left, so I'm going to go through some of them, and yeah, we'll be done. And I think this has been a really good video. It's been a really good time just for me to get my thoughts and words out and showcase the albums that I like enough to buy on vinyl, to buy on CD. I do have vinyls, but not very many. So like the CD collection is huge compared to the 5 or 6 vinyls or something that I own. I have some old vinyls that I inherited, but they're not artists that I've ever really listened to, and I've never actually put them on a vinyl player to actually listen to them. That is something I do want to get into, is listening to music on vinyl. I don't have a CD player though. Like, I don't have a CD player. I know that sounds crazy. I own all these CDs, and the only times I listen to them is in the car. I have a CD player in my car, but I would like an actual sound system in my house, in my room somewhere, that I can just play whatever albums I want to, or whenever I want to, on a nice quality sound system. But there's other things I need to purchase before that, and it's not necessarily a priority when I can listen to these things in the car. So yeah, we'll go over to the last pile, and I might take my time if I've got enough battery. Yeah, so we'll do that in a sec. Cool. All right, now we're getting toward the tail end of the video and the sorting session. Yeah, we're very close. This is the last pile. I have all my things sorted over there. One of the piles, in the alphabet, is a lot bigger than the rest of them, and I know why. Not necessarily the one that I thought would be the biggest, but I mean, it makes sense. But yeah, so we're gonna go through this last pile and try and talk about some other things, and then we'll be done. So on the top of this pile, we have Sade Love Deluxe. This is my favorite Sade album. I could say a million things about Sade. I know I spoke about Sade before, but yeah, this album is my favorite for a million reasons. And this will probably be one of the first albums I listen to after sorting these, because there was a period where I was listening to this album every single day, and at least every single week. Like, I love Love Deluxe. I love Sade. This album specifically is just so powerful, speaks to me in a way that doesn't really make a lot of sense, because it shouldn't really relate to anything that I have ever experienced, and it doesn't. But just the way that she tells her stories is so poetically excellent. Poetically excellent, I think, is the only other way I can explain or describe Sade's Love Deluxe. And Sade is someone I do want to talk about in further detail in another video. I just got to figure out what that would fit into, because it's not going to fit into the next video I do, or any of the upcoming ones that I have conceptualized. But yes, Sade Love Deluxe is one of the best albums I've ever heard, and definitely one of my favorite albums of all time, if not my favorite album of all time. The more I listen to it, the better it gets. Next we have Public Enemy, Fear of a Black Planet. This is Mum's copy of Public Enemy, Fear of Black Planet. I don't have their first album, even though I think I prefer their first album over this one. This is a good album. Public Enemy are actually really good. I think they're one of those underrated older groups that people kind of gloss over when they talk about old groups. They always talk about NWA or stuff like that. But yeah, they're really good. Don't Be Dumb by A$AP Rocky. This is A$AP's new album. One of the few 2026 albums that I have. But yeah, Don't Be Dumb is a great album, and I had to get it on CD, but it's this, I like that in here is just, that is it. Like, the disc is the album cover, and then it's just got the big no sign on the front. I don't know if you can tell, but this big no sign is a sticker. It's not printed, it's a sticker, which is so stupid to me. I could peel this whole sticker off, and that'd be the end of the whole fucking album cover. And it's got these bubbles though. It's formed these bubbles that you can't really get rid of. I don't really want to ruin the album cover, so I just leave it. But these bubbles have been getting bigger over time since I bought this album, and it's really, really, really bugging me. But I did love A$AP Rocky's Don't Be Dumb, so I'm not going to fault him on that. Then next we have my favourite album of all time, at least as far as hip-hop goes. Like Sade's Love Deluxe is probably my favourite album outside of hip-hop. But yes, Dr. Dre's 2001 is like, that's what really got me into hip-hop. That's like my introduction, my love for all these artists, Dre, Snoop, Eminem, even like Exhibit and stuff like that. Like I really got into them from this album, and the idea that this is still one of the best produced albums ever, just quality of the sound. And you know what, the biggest reason that I love CDs is that there is a sound difference between CDs and streaming. That's something you can do research on if you really want to, but most of the time they compact the files and they compress them, and the sound quality is less. It just is. Not to mention that speakers are obviously different when you're normally listening to something compared to a CD player connected to a car or whatever, but also just this on CD is genuinely a different feeling album than this on Spotify. I don't listen to this on Spotify much at all, because I don't think that I can top the sound that this makes on a CD. I think this era, 2001, 1999-ish, like, is only... these albums specifically from this age were made for CDs. CDs had just come out, and Dr. Dre went, this isn't made for vinyls anymore. I have it on vinyl, but it's not a vinyl album. You listen to this on CD, you know what I mean? Anyway, that's what I got, 2001 by Dr. Dre. Then we got The Roots. I got this from one of my girlfriend's friends, Phrenology. This is a really good album. I think people forget about The Roots sometimes, but they're actually really good. We got Eminem. Encore. I actually really like Encore. I know it's one of the more hated on Eminem albums, but I think even when you compare it to like any of his new stuff, I think Encore's still better. And I think there's enough good songs on Encore. Like, I actually really like Never Enough, like Toy Soldiers, even things like my first single, obviously Mockingbird, One Shot, Two Shot, Encore. Like, there is actually a lot of decent songs on here. I think people kind of just always compared it to Eminem before Encore, and obviously that's a 3-album run that is unmatched. So it's like hard to go against those first 3 albums when you're Encore, but I think Encore in itself is actually really good. Then we have Melt My Eyes, See Your Future by Denzel Curry. Holy shit. This CD is really special to me. I had listened to some Denzel, and I know I'm going to sound like I'm like a new gen almost on Denzel, but I'm young. Like, if I wasn't listening to him, I wasn't listening to him. I bought this album on CD because I had heard so many good things. I had not even listened to it, and I bought it on CD when I was in the city. And when me and my friend drove home from the city that day, we put it in, and I fell in love with this album. This album is so good, like unbelievably good. And I know that I've spoken about Denzel already briefly, but like Melt My Eyes, See Your Future, I had never listened to it. I had never listened to a single song of it. And obviously it had been a couple months since it came out when I found it on CD. And then I played it in the car on the way home, and it blew me away. It blew me away. That's all I can say really for now. Denzel's another artist that I want to talk about on the channel. But next we have Rage Against the Machine, Double X. But I think Double X is it's the 20-year anniversary. It's just Rage Against the Machine, really. Rage Against the Machine is really good. That's the rock that I actually ended up falling in love with. I think that what's his name? Zach De La Rocha or whatever his name is. Like the the lead on Rage Against the Machine is really influenced by rap almost, and he is essentially rapping, just not on rap songs. It's really weird thing, and a lot of the politically driven topics are similar or parallel to topics that were in a lot of conscious rap almost at the time, like that didn't really make a lot of sense until you look at it now in retrospect. Denzel Curry covered Rage Against the Machine. Like, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in Rage Against the Machine's discography, and that's the album that I bought first. We got A Tribe Called Quest. This is the anthology. The anthology is good. I like the anthology. Like, it's 2 discs. Pretty sure that's just, yeah, it's a compilation. But it's good. Like, I had never really found a Tribe Called Quest album on CD before, so I did buy it just because, like, you know, I wanted to listen to Tribe on CD. But the anthology is just a compilation album, which is fine. I think it's fine, to be honest. Yeah, we're gonna put Tribe in A, I think, because the A is important in that. When we got Travis Scott Rodeo, I forgot I got this, to be honest. Rodeo is the only one that actually has, the only one that I have, because Astroworld and Utopia are in cardboard sleeves, but this is a proper CD. This is real. But I also think this is an international copy. Yeah, made in Germany, packaged in USA. Pretty sure this is a international copy, not an Australian copy, and maybe that's why it's in a plastic cover instead of a sleeve, but also maybe because it's just old. Anyway, let's get on to Amy Winehouse. Oh, Back to Black. What a great album. I remember when I bought this, actually. And I had listened to Amy before, but yeah, Amy Winehouse is one of those artists as well that, like, is almost parallel to hip hop in a way. Obviously, Lupe did that album about her in a way, but also, you know, she worked with Nas heaps, and they had, like, maybe a relationship. I don't really know the details between that sort of stuff, but if you do know, maybe let me know. But yeah, Amy Winehouse is really, really talented, and I mean, fair enough. Then we got Dave, Psychodrama. Psychodrama is my favorite. I think it's just like, you know, Psycho, the intro track, is just like, I love that song. I live for it. I can't stop listening to it sometimes. Then we got Lovers Rock by Sade, another Sade album. I've got, 3 Sade albums, which I think is a pretty good effort, because for a long time I could never find Sade, and I was always looking for Sade, and I could never find it, and I was, like, really upset about it. But we do have Marshall? What's it called? Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers by Kendrick Lamar. I love Mr. Morale and Big Steppers. It came out on the day I went to my year 12 formal, my high school formal. And I didn't really care about formal. I didn't go with a date or anything. It wasn't really about that. I was just going because, like, it's just, you know, I didn't want to not go, I guess. But I went to formal, but while I was getting ready, and I don't wear a lot of suits, I was wearing this suit, and I got my AirPods in the kitchen while Mum's, like, fluffing around my hair going, you need to look so perfect, and I'm listening to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, and I remember it being just, like, so refreshing, at the time at least, for me. Then we have more Kendrick. I think I've obviously got a Kendrick stack going on here. This is To Pimp a Butterfly, the explicit version, so I had the clean version at the start, but we do have Kendrick, the explicit version, so TPAB is, I mean, it's TPAB. Then we have my favorite Kendrick album, still, Good Kid, Mad City. Good Kid, Mad City, when I first listened to this album, I remember thinking at the start, this is weird, this is interesting, like, it's okay, I don't really understand it. And then when I pieced together that it was, like, it was almost like a movie. And even, see, on the CD, it doesn't say this shit as much on the, like, you don't notice it as much on the album cover, because it says on the album cover here, but this is because it's a deluxe edition, not the van. But when you listen to it, it's like, oh my God, it's a movie. like I didn't realize that it was like a movie until I listened to it on CD, and I remember pulling out the disc and reading a short film by Kendrick Lamar, and I was like, oh, short film, like it is almost supposed to be a movie. It is sequential. It is a storyline from start to finish, track to track. This is the deluxe that has Compton, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, Remix 1, Remix 2. I do have the deluxe edition on vinyl I got as a gift this year for my 21st from a friend that has the other deluxe songs, like the one with Mary J. Blige on it, which I really love. But yes, Good Kid, Mad City, my favorite Kendrick Lamar album, if you were curious. Then we have GNX, that came out last year. I'm not going to talk much about that because it's not as good. It's good, it's not that good compared to like other stuff, right? Then we have Beyonce Renaissance. I love Renaissance. Renaissance is amazing. Renaissance is just something that I didn't think that I would enjoy as much as I did. Renaissance kind of got me into the newer Beyonce because I was really a fan of the old Beyonce stuff, and then I started listening to Renaissance and I was like, oh my God, like maybe Beyonce is actually really talented, and I got further into it. We got two more here. We got Otis Redding, The Dock of the Bay. I got really into Otis Redding like late last year and started listening to this album a lot on Spotify. Found it in the city maybe somewhere. I found it at this record store, bought it, and I really love Otis Redding. I think this whole story, and as I learn more about it, because I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm an expert, as I learn more about Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, I fall more and more in love with this album and Otis Redding as a whole. Then I have JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown, Scaring the Hose. So I'm surprised that this exists. To be honest, I've never really found it easy to find JPEG stuff, and the fact that I could in a store in my city that I live in, like I thought that was really cool. And I mean, it seems legit. It's got the back cover all fine and stuff. I mean, yeah, I only paid $30 for it as well. So like, as far as CDs go, could have been a lot worse. Yes. Now, that is all of my CDs sorted. So I'm going to go put them over there. But before I do that, I'm just going to chat real quick. If you enjoyed this video, if you have watched this far, because I imagine after I put all these clips together and stuff, it will be long. If you enjoyed this video, I'm so grateful that you even watched to this point. Just doing this as a hobby almost is just something that I've kind of always wanted to do and never really had the guts to do it. I wanted to make content a year and a half ago, more than a year and a half ago. It's currently August. I wanted to make content last year, February. So ages ago, right? And I started filming a video one time. I sat down and talked for ages, and then I never edited it or anything, and my mic was in my pocket for half the video, and so I went, oh my God, the video's ruined, and I never went back. I never edited it, I never refilmed anything, and I wish I started then, because imagine if I started then, I would already be a year and a half into my journey learning how to do this. But unfortunately, I've only just started, so hopefully in a year and a half, I'm happy where I've got to, and I am still doing this because I really do enjoy making videos. I sometimes get a bit overwhelmed by how much work actually goes into stuff like this, considering I don't think that this content is the bee's knees or anything. I don't think it's creme de la creme. I'm doing my best for what I have in the time that I'm giving myself. But at the same time, I know I'm not fucking the next guy to be. I'm not trying to be either, though. I'm trying to be myself, but I'm also trying to share what I want more and more people to listen to. I want people to hear what I have to say. I want to say something that's important enough for people to listen. And yeah, I don't know. I've enjoyed doing a little bit more of a laid-back, entirely unscripted video. I hope this isn't a pain for me to edit in the future, because I do have other video that I want to do this week. And yeah, but for the meantime, I want to go sort these out, put them over there in my alphabet. I'm going to show you guys the alphabet, and yeah, we're gonna talk about my CD collection one last time, and then we'll say goodbye. So if you're still watching, God bless you. I hope you have just a really fulfilled life, to be honest. And you know, hit the buttons, all the buttons below. You know the buttons. The big red one, make it white by clicking the subscribe. Click the little fucking bell thing. Like, we love music here. It's a musical instrument, so you have to hit the bell. You've got to be musical, right? That's what you got to be a little bit creative, a little bit artistic. Just hit the little bell. It'll go ding. It won't, but your phone will when I drop a video. And if you want to watch more of my stuff, if you're enjoying any of this, you have to know when the next video comes out, because, like, I mean, seriously, guys, I've been sitting here for a long time. I haven't. I've been in and out, but you don't know that. This video, I started recording this video hours ago. And maybe you think that's fine and standard, but this is the longest recording session I've ever done, and somehow was supposed to be the laid back video. And now I'm worrying about how much I want to edit when it's supposed to be a non-editing video. And I'm also worried about how long it's going to take to process in YouTube. Perfect. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to pack all this up, put them over in my piles, and I'll show you in a sec. Okay, so I do have Carter 3 over here, because I haven't taken the actual disc out of my car yet, so I'm going to put that back in my car. But other than that, we have from A to Z, even though I don't have albums in certain letters, but if we go through, we've got A's, B's, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, yada, yada, yada. You know the alphabet, right? Now, the biggest pile here, by far, is D. Now, I think that that's mostly because of Drake, De La Soul, Denzel Curry, and then just random artists. K is pretty big because it has a lot of Kendrick and a lot of Kanye. Surprisingly, G is relatively big. I have 3 Genesis Owusu albums though, so I think that makes sense. Not really sure who the other ones would be. N is relatively high. S is pretty big, but that's like Sade and stuff like that. But yeah, I thought there might be a bit more M. Wait, that's supposed to be there. That's M. That's Michael Jackson. That's N. Yeah, cool. That's Mac Miller, not Michael Jackson. But Michael Jackson's in that pile. That's why there's a lot. Anyway, yes. So this is my whole CD collection. It might not look a lot when it's all spread out like that, but you saw it all on the table at the start, so you know, you get the gist. Anyway, one last thank you and just a goodbye from me, because that was very long recording session, very long. It'll probably be very long to edit, and my camera died halfway through, and I'm not happy, and I hope that all is okay to use, and I'll try and get this posted before my next video, but if not, it'll come out just after the video that you'll see it on my page, obviously. My video about rap groups is the video that I'm talking about. It'll either be, I filmed this before rap groups, so hopefully it's posted before rap groups, and if you're watching this late into the video, then you'll know the next video that comes out is rap groups. And if rap groups is already out, because my Thursday releases are my priority, then you will know that this was recorded before that, so I don't actually know what I've talked about entirely yet, because I've not finished that script. Anyway, peace and love, guys. I'll see you soon, hopefully very soon. And if you liked this sort of content, a little bit more laid back, slower stuff, longer stuff, then let me know. Like, tell me that you enjoyed it so that I make more of it. Like, I want to give people what they want to see. You know, I want to try and find the audience that is interested in what I've got to say, but also give that audience more of what they enjoy. Awesome. I also enjoyed making this, so I don't actually mind. See you later, guys. Hair reveal.